So you can catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. What you know about classic music?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series. Today, we're going to do WrestleMania 10. It's a long-awaited retro that we've waited to do for a bit because scheduling hasn't worked out, but we're finally doing it today. It was my pick. Nobody else's pick, my pick. I'm here with the person that produces all my shows, James the He-Man Hebert. What's going on? How are you? How are you today? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, there you go. And then I'm here. I'm here with the guy that never likes to be on cam. I'm here with the guy that never likes to be on camera, never will be on camera again. Chris Dodd, how are you today? Being just doing the vocal part of the video, just not even being on camera. No, you don't have time for that.
I'm doing fucking fantastic, just exposing me. Fucking bastard.
Today's just gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those videos today where we're just all over the place. I'm just gonna be snappy today and just. They might not know who he is, though. They might. It could just be a recording of him, and it's just somebody else sitting in his place. They don't know.
They
Could be Christopher. But
I could be Miguelson. You never know.
But yeah, today we're gonna.
I could
So
be
we can't
Alice
make
Joe. You never know.
We can't make James laugh too much. Yeah, today we're doing the Retro Wrestling Review Series on WrestleMania 10. I picked this retro. I've never actually seen this show in full. I've seen a couple matches on this show, but there's one particular match that I always hear praise about, but I had never seen. So I wanted to come on here and review it. So that's why we're doing this retro. We'll talk more about it when we actually review that match, which we're going to do in a couple seconds. But let's go over the financials and what the state of the company was at this time. WWF went through a really interesting period from 93 to 94. Originally, the company was a whole different way where it was all about the big superstars. It was about those larger-than-life personas, which it still was at this time, but they had to change the athletes that they showcased because in 1993 was the steroid trial. The WWE had been accused of giving steroids to their athletes and everything like that. So the steroid trial took up most of 1993. So they basically had to change up who they showcased as superstars and everything like that. The big muscle guys kind of had to be phased out, and wrestling became more about the athletics, the Bret Harts, the Shawn Michaels, the Owen Harts, the Razor Ramones of the world. And unfortunately, Vince tried to find a loophole when it came to the big guys by pushing Mabel, even though Mabel wasn't obviously pushed like he was going to get it a year later. You could see that he had a big plans for Mabel. And, you know, even though he had Diesel in the fold and things like that. So I always kind of liked this transition because even though wrestling was still very much in kayfabe, you got to see like legitimate athletes in the business. People who felt like they were like real people and all that type of stuff. You got to kind of see that with the WWF and everything like that. So it was pretty cool to see this transition. It's obviously it brings back to that conversation though. Is it athletes or is it characters that draw? Because WWF wasn't drawing all that well at this time. So
I mean, they had TL Hopper.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that was at this time, but that was coming.
The Dumpster Drosy.
Yeah, that was great stuff. But WWF was being hit other ways. Hulk Hogan had just left the company not long before this, and he had obviously moved on from the WWF. He wouldn't be back for like until like 2002. He went. Obviously, this didn't happen yet, but he went signed over to WCW later in the year. So, and WCW was doing fairly well at this time. They were obviously making a big names for themselves. They had been around a while in the Jim Crockett era and everything like that. But WCW was starting to make the right moves and everything like that. They were actually starting to be like more of a competition and more of a direct competition towards the WWF. Ric Flair had gone back over. He was the WCW champion again. They had Vader over there, who was a larger-than-life character. And WCW was doing some really good things. Eastern Championship Wrestling was going to be a big factor later on because ECW, I don't think it had happened yet, but was going to be owned by Paul Heyman. And ECW later in the year. That was later in the. That was late. That was later in the year, but I'm just saying they were about AC. It was being built up at this time, so that was pretty exciting. But yeah, so professional wrestling like wasn't doing great at this time, but you could definitely see the building blocks of a big year that they were about to have wrestling with Hogan eventually going over there, which would set up all this type of stuff. Other things that were happening was the Lex Luger experiment really didn't work like they thought it was going to work. Vince McMahon tried to make Lex Luger his next Hulk Hogan, and we'll talk more about that later. And this was in that period of time where you really didn't get a consistently good or bad WrestleMania. WrestleMania 9, to a lot of people, was a terrible show. If you were asked people what their least favorite WrestleMania was, a lot of people, I think, would say WrestleMania 9. And it'd be like, yeah.
The show itself sucks, but I like the venue.
But yeah, this was that period of time in the new generation era where you would get a bad WrestleMania, then a good one, and it would go back and forth, which you could see why a lot of people weren't interested in the product, because how can you be guaranteed to have something good if every year it's a 50-50 shot if Mania is going to be good? So at least that's what I would think anyways. But I would say WWF was in a pretty okay spot at this time. They had the hottest feud in the company going on at this time. So I would say the WWF wasn't necessarily trash, but it wasn't a big draw like it was in '93 and earlier years and stuff. But going through WrestleMania, yeah. But yeah, let's get into this show. No trivia because I picked the retro, so I'm the one that just says the trivia or all the financials and stuff. The date of this show was March 20th, 1994. The city was New York City, New York. The venue was Madison Square Garden. This was obviously, a big thing that it was back in MSG because the very first WrestleMania that Chris Dodd and I did as a retro was in MSG, so it made sense to go back to MSG. The attendance, as they say on Wikipedia, was 18,655 people. Again, that number could be embellished because WWF had a tendency to do that. The buy rate in North America was 420,000 buys. Comparing that to 93, Uh, hold on, I accidentally went to the wrong pay-per-view. I went to King of the Ring by accident. That's not the right. But the number the year prior, let me make sure this is the right thing. Yeah, the number of the year prior was 16,891. So the buy rate was down. But again, you didn't have the draws that you had before, so it makes sense why the buy rate would be down. And obviously, I think even though people probably didn't know what was going on, the steroid trial probably scared a lot of people away because you could say, well, they probably didn't know there was an internet back then. I'm pretty sure the steroid trial was covered in the news some way, somehow. It's like that's not something you can ignore. So I don't. Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. Um, and the tagline for the show was 10 years in the making. Because this is actually a huge show. The fact that WrestleMania made it to 10 years, it was a huge investment that Chris Dodd and I talked about when they did it the first time. The fact that WrestleMania did 10 years, you did deserve to celebrate that. That does deserve to be celebrated. But going through the actual show itself, uh, there was a couple of preview shows I'll just break down real quick. The first one was Superstars in '94. It was hosted by Johnny Polo and Vince McMahon. They pretty much just broke down WrestleMania, talked about all the storylines and things like that. This was cool because it wasn't like that typical pre-show that you see where it's just at the panel. Like it was hosted by Johnny Polo and Vince McMahon, and they actually went around areas like in New York. Like they went to MSG, they walked around New York a little bit. So they did like a carriage ride and stuff. So it was pretty cool that, you know, it wasn't like the typical pre-show that you would typically see. So I thought that was pretty cool. There was a countdown show where it was like basically the pre-show, just going over some things that happened on. It was hosted by Todd Pettingill and Johnny Polo also. Um, Jeff Jarrett got interviewed. He talked about WrestleMania being a part of the tag match and things. This interview was hard to hear because there was a lot of technical issues, and I was watching this on like a YouTube channel where it was all staticky and stuff like that, so it was hard to hear the interview and stuff. Then Johnny Polo's backstage. He's trying to get a word with one of the celebrities, but they won't talk to him because, you know, they're just being mean to him. It's sort of ad for the W. Yeah, no, it was Johnny Polo. It was Johnny Polo that this happened to. Um, WWF ad. This was actually a pretty funny ad. There was a fan that was trying to be all the wrestlers from back then. So Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, and Diesel and Shawn Michaels to try to impress this woman to get her to notice him. And he was Macho Man Randy Savage at one point. And then the real Macho Man Randy Savage walk up, and the woman instantly notices him, and they walk away together. And the whole thing was like an ad to say, "Don't trust people who pretend to be other people." And it was like really funny. It was hilarious. It was actually really funny stuff. That's what I'm saying. Um, Diesel got Johnny Polo interviewed. No, sorry, Todd Pettengill had a segment. I forgot to mention this too. They also aired this pay per view like in theaters and stuff. I forget what theater it was. And Pettengill, they did, yeah. Todd Pettengill had mentioned that he was there. And he was just kind of hyping up WrestleMania. Talked about you know, being at the theater. He talked about all the people that are going to perform and all that type of stuff. And then Diesel gets interviewed, and he got interviewed by Johnny Polo. And Diesel talks about how Shawn Michaels is going to win the ladder match and says that he's not going to interfere in this match because Shawn Michaels isn't going to need him. And then Johnny Polo asks Diesel where he's going. And Diesel pauses for a minute and says, "I'm going to Disneyland," and then walks off. Like, it was pretty funny. uh, yeah, because it's in MSG too, so I don't understand what he was doing there. So maybe, yeah. Other than Johnny Polo, like took us around. What happened? What
I
happened?
I hate myself. My microphone wasn't even connected this entire time for whatever goddamn reason.
Oh, we gotta start over.
No, we don't. We can. It's fucking live. Fucking goddamn it, OBS. Oh my fucking god. Well, hey,
embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay. So the things that I said while nobody could fucking hear me. I have a sciatic nerve and it made me fucking angry, which is probably why I didn't even bother checking.
Yeah, catch everybody up.
Yeah, and then what else did I say? I was laughing and everything hurt while I was laughing. And then
that happened.
And then we were talking about, and then I asked a question about Mania 10, or no, I asked a question about what did I ask?
About ECW
fucking
when
ECW, yeah. And then I was talking about Kevin Nash. Yeah, bitch, where is this? Now we're on the Kevin Nash thing. Bitch, where is this motherfucker? You know, where's this motherfucking Disneyland you talking about?
Yeah. So I think that catches everybody up. You didn't introduce yourself. Well, I guess I introduced you.
Yeah, you did introduce me, and I said I'm having a great time with the sciatic nerve pinch. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Everything. We covered all our bases there. So.
Except for I think something about Macho Man. Yeah.
Someone pretended it. Yeah.
Yeah. Macho.
All right, there you go.
Man. Yeah.
We covered all our bases.
Well, I'm checking my fucking microphone every goddamn time I'm live going forward. Jesus Christ.
Yes, so yeah.
All right, go.
All right, so we covered everything then. So.
Yep.
But yeah, during the countdown show, Johnny Polo took us around ringside and stuff, and there was a match going on. It was the Heavenly Bodies versus the Bushwhackers. You didn't get to see like a lot of the match because they were doing other pre-show things and things like that, but. The Heavenly Bodies ended up winning by cheating. I'm not going to do a star rating for it because you couldn't even see the whole match, and we're not going to do a career retrospective because they didn't even bother to show really much of anybody. So there's no reason to do a career retrospective on any of those people.
Bye.
So, what else was going on? Men on a Mission did a rap where they talked about WrestleMania 10 and saying that we're going to see a show like never before. It was really fun, actually. I liked that rap.
Why are all the rap groups back then just... You can tell they're done by white people. It's not even... None of these are done by actual black people. None of them. None of them are done by actual rappers. Like, this fucking guy... what's his name? Mo? And fucking PN News from, like, 93.
Yeah.
Like, these guys, you could tell they're not even writing their own raps, but they act like they are. Like,
yeah.
But
I had fun watching that rap, though. It was fun.
It was fun.
And then Jerry the Kid Law, during the countdown show, Vince McMahon got on commentary and did like a sound check and completely cut off Todd Pettengill. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, Todd? What's up?" And like Todd Pettengill was like legitimately like in the middle of a sentence, and Vince McMahon just completely cut him off and everything. Like,
hey, Todd! Todd! How you doing? Yeah!
It was so funny. And then like at one point Todd's talking too, and Vince is just like, "Wait, who's that? What's going on here?"
Who's that? So you could tell he's so on cocaine. He's so fucked. Dude, if he's asking who's that, he's so high as a kite on coke. Holy shit. What the fuck? He coming in probably with the fucking white stuff still on his goddamn lip. Fucking, who's that? Who the fuck is Todd? Todd who?
It wasn't like they were right in front of each other. Todd was in another part of the arena, and Vince just heard him. So it's to be fair to Vince.
Okay. So I'm still gonna stick with my story because it's funnier.
Who's that?
Do you think, Chris? Do you think that's funnier? You know, Vince is on cocaine and forgot who Todd Pettengill was.
Yeah, because he forgets who everyone is.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's all
especially on commentary back then. Vince didn't know anything on commentary.
Well, if he didn't know the moves, I'm sure he didn't know the fucking people either.
Yeah. And then Jerry the Kid Lawler did his entrance because he was coming out to do commentary. Todd Pettengill interviewed him. And Jerry the Kid Lawler talked about how he better not call him Burger King. Don't start any of that shit, or I'm going to blame you and beat the crap out of you. And then Jerry the Kid Lawler talked about how Bret Hart was going to get embarrassed by Owen Hart, about how Little Richard really wasn't a kin of rock and roll. He's not the kin of anything. And then he went and did commentary. So that was basically it there. It was a good interview by Lawler.
It was a good interview.
And then,
but can we, we're just going to say the elephant in the room. Even though it was back then, dude, this commentary was fucking unbearable the whole night. Oh my god! Like
I actually didn't hate it the whole night, but there is some stuff that doesn't translate well.
Dude, it just not even. I'm not even just talking about the tasteless shit. It's just constant. Like it basically it screams, "I'm a heel. Can you tell I'm a heel? I'm gonna beat it into you until you realize I'm a heel." Like, Jesus Christ, we get it. You're a bad guy. Can you at least be somewhat objective? Like, oh my god. It's freaking weird because this is how the commentary would be later on. Like, and even back then, it's hard to fucking... It's just hard to tolerate.
Yeah.
It's just really
and it's all Lawler, too, because it's all like... And you know it's all Lawler, too, because it's not like Vince is in his ear, because Vince can't be in his ear because he's fucking there. So it's all Lawler doing
it's all Lawler. Well, no, I still wonder if it's a Vince directive, though. Like, because it probably had to have been. Only because it's like, this is how Vince would do it on commentary for the whole time.
Yeah.
When he was behind people's ear. But, like, even later on, like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I prefer Jerry Lawler talking about puppies and being a corporate kiss ass. He was way more objective back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he had his moments, but, like, I don't know. Like, everything, he felt too hateful to the baby faces. It didn't come across as natural at all. I don't know. That's just me.
The only one that did was Bret, because obviously him and Bret had just feuded. So
which makes sense. But, like, what's your beef with Razor, bro?
I know.
What did Razor ever do to you? Like, what did fucking Macho Man ever do to you? Like, he just hangs around, he does the commentary, and then you took over for him this night. Like, what's wrong with him? What's the issue there?
Yeah. I don't think this was his first time behind the booth, because they had mentioned they had worked together before. So like Vince mentions, like Lawler had been behind the booth before, so I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, who knows? Not my favorite. It's not my favorite Lawler on commentary moment. We'll just put it that way.
One other thing is, before Lawler left the interview, right after he left, actually, Todd Pettengill got the Burger King chant started, which was hilarious. So. Good job, Todd Pettengill. I was really proud of him. And Todd Pettengill did this last thing where he got the crowd all excited for the show. He grabbed the camera guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, you guys ready for WrestleMania? Woo!"
Yeah.
One of the funny things he said was, "If you want to know how to order the show on pay-per-view, because you had to call in at the time, you can either call me or you can write a letter to me." It's like, I don't think you can order the pay-per-view by the time the letter gets to you, pal. Like,
dude, Todd Pettengill, I swear, every time he was hyping up a show, he might have been on coke too, to be fair, because that dude had an exuberant amount of energy with anything he fucking did when it came to hyping up a crowd. I remember, I'm watching, like, old Deadlock podcasts, and they were talking about Todd Pettengill and how legendary he was for just being a fucking hype machine for Shotgun Saturday Night. And, like, he would do fucking anything for this company. The dude, I don't even know about this, but this is how I found out. So, there was this fucking weird-ass segment on Shotgun where he's dressed in a fucking, like, Elmo doll suit. And to fuck Sonny, and it's Fondle Me Elmo. Yeah, this fucking weird ass segment. He was the one doing it while his wife was filming it. He cucked his wife in an Elmo suit.
Yeah,
I don't understand, but he did it for the company. You gotta respect it. or you gotta question it. You be the judge.
How about both?
Sure.
Why not both?
Why not both? Chris,
You
is the jury out on both?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But yeah, that's basically it. Before we actually start reviewing the show, let's do a quick retrospective on Todd Pettengill. He would be in the company mainly to hype up the In Your House pay-per-views and stuff.
Shotgun.
Up until like 1997, he basically asked for his release because he couldn't do the radio thing and be on WWF. It conflicted with the schedule. So, ironically enough, Todd Pettengill pretty much got Michael Cole his job because Todd Pettengill had consistently requested. He went to bat for Michael Cole to get him behind the booth because obviously, if you remember, after Todd Pettengill was gone, Michael Cole took his place. So
pretty much, yeah.
that's pretty ironic. And he's shown back up again recently in the wrestling community when they released the In Your House DVDs. He was like the host for that. And then when they brought back In Your House for like NXT Takeover / NXT, he was obviously there.
He was the backstage interviewer, I think, for that.
He was mainly like a host, I think. He was
pretty much. Yeah.
Not really in that. I think he did one backstage interview where like he tried to do one with like Mackenzie Mitchell, but he kept like fucking it up. I remember. So I think that was what you're talking about.
That's the one. By the way, we got Steve Steiner in the chat. By the way, he said he's Chris Dodd's #1 fan. Chris, how do you feel about this?
Of course he is.
As he there you go.
I think he's Chris Dodd's #1 fan because he's going to claim I didn't ask him to do this, but he told me he was the only day he was available Thursday, and that's his retro pick. So if he was available today, he should have said something. So this is not my fault. This is all his fault. So,
all right.
Okay. Let's start talking about the actual show now, so you guys can actually pitch in and talk about stuff.
Nope.
Chris, you're talking.
It's over. The retro is over. What are you talking about?
That was the retro.
That's it. Talk about the pre-show, nothing else. See ya. Bye. Wait.
16-parter.
Wait. I should go to the outro for the lulz. Hold on.
We doing all the classics. You heard it, didn't I?
Gotcha, bitch. All right.
It's a 16-part series.
We'll talk about one segment per
retro.
Video.
Oh my god, no. That's fucking I'd actually rather the lawn retros. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, going through the actual show, we had Vince McMahon and Jerry the Kim Lawler on commentary. James and I gave our thoughts, kind of. I didn't really mind them too much. I thought Jerry the Kim Lawler was a bit too excessive on the heel commentary shtick, but other than that, I thought they did fine on commentary. I thought Vince was better here than at SummerSlam 92, like much better here.
Dude, nothing will be better than at SummerSlam. Anything could be better than that fucking SummerSlam call. Holy shit.
But Chris, what did you think of the commentary team overall with Vince and Jerry Lawler?
Oh my god. Hello, Steve.
Oh my god, he's here. What's going on?
The usual. See if I can get my picture up on here. There
oh my god, dude, you're
there you are. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just getting back for a workout.
Well, bro,
okay.
You're fucking.
What a coincidence.
You're fucking up my layout, bro. I have to keep moving Chris Sycon over.
I'm out. I'm out and about, but I mean, I've seen Mania 10 a couple times, so I can review.
Yep. While you're walking. Okay. Well, we just got done with the pre-show, so you're right on time. Fuck it.
Yeah. So.
Well, as we've learned, the pre-show is never really that good, so that's fine with me.
There you go.
Okay, so we have a surprise Steve Steiner appearance on the retro.
Yeah,
so
with my hair blowing in the wind.
Now, if you could do me, I know this is gonna be tough. When you're not talking, do you mind muting your stuff since you're in the fucking wind right now?
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's getting bad.
No, he can't.
I'm feeling my #1 fan.
Yeah. And I admit that I'm Parachute Man, okay? I killed it. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now Chris would be your number one fan now that you finally admitted it.
Finally,
So
I'm his number one fan now.
Oh my god, yeah.
Eric,
I
dead, I admit it.
All right, Steve. We gotta get started on this retro at some point. So please, for the love of God, mute. That wind is ridiculous.
okay, I will cut to you when it's time for you to talk.
Yeah, there
This
we
is the
go.
most craziest retro we've ever done.
This is, dude. This retro.
all
Oh
right,
my
so go
fucking god, Steve! Keep the camera on at least, bro. I have to keep
He's
moving,
fucking up
Chris.
there,
I keep moving, Chris.
This is chaotic.
Oh my god. Holy shit. All right, yeah. Keep it there.
Chaotic.
Keep it on the cam. Thank you. Okay. Let's get started.
All right, so Chris, what did you think of the commentary team overall for WrestleMania 10? I kind of gave my thoughts on it.
Well, it was a commentary team. They existed at some point in this universe.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
They existed. So yes, they're there. Were they good? Don't care.
There you go.
Fair enough.
So, Steve, I know you haven't. I know you haven't seen WrestleMania 10 in a while, but what did you think of Vince and very much heel Jerry Lawler on commentary during WrestleMania 10? Or has it been
Oh my god!
It was very-
I think he's frozen.
Oh
He's
no! Oh
He's
no!
Shitty Wi-Fi data. And
Oh
everything.
my god!
This
And
is my
I have to keep moving, Chris.
This retro's a fucking disaster.
This is so
Like,
fucked. My microphone didn't work. Steve shows up randomly. Steve, when you're at home, then come on. Just don't worry about it. I'm begging you, please.
this retro's a fucking disaster. This retro's a fucking
Holy
joke.
shit.
It's the worst retro ever.
Hold on, wait. Is Steve gonna be? Steve,
wait
just
a-
be on audio. Steve, be on audio. I could have you. I could have your icon lean against the WrestleMania 10 logo. Hold on.
Can we grade the retro afterwards?
Retro's
Like,
an F. Easy.
Zero.
Easy 0 out of 10.
oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Alright, so let's
Fucking
get
hell.
that-
All right.
This retro, this retro's a fucking joke.
All right. So
Uh,
we asked Steve. Steve can tell us his answer in the chat. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. So, Steve, he did say something in the chat. He said, Parachute Man is a myth. I admit it. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. There you go. He finally admitted
All right.
that Parachute
All
Man
right.
was a
What
myth.
cool. Can we get back to the retro, please?
Yes.
This is a
All right, so
Yeah, it is.
we had the... no, he's back.
Can you hear me?
He's back.
Oh, for fuck's
Yes.
sake!
I,
Stop making me move, people! Stop it! Steve, just wait until you're home, brother, please. I'm begging you.
sounds good. I'll join you when I'm home.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna keep Chris back there. Okay, thank you. All right.
This retro's a fucking joke.
Ah!
It keeps getting worse.
It's fucking hilarious, though. I'm not even mad, you know.
for me.
Not me either.
I have the YouTube chat up, and it's just James moving my picture around 14 times.
Dude, it's a fucking. Dude.
All right, let's calm down. Let's calm down. Oh, poor James too. His fucking back hurts.
Oh,
He's fucking laughing
dude,
his
it's
ass.
in so much pain. Every laugh hurts.
Let's all calm down. Let's all calm down so we can actually start the retro block.
Jesus Christ. All right, yep.
All right, so we had the intro video package for WrestleMania 10. It just showed all the big things that happened at WrestleMania 1, which was cool. They did this throughout the night, which we'll talk about. We had the national anthem, which was America the Beautiful by this point. It was done by Little Richard. I think he did really well. He's probably my favorite one that's done the national anthem / America the Beautiful. The only one I think that like comes close to topping him is the person that sang it at WrestleMania 24. I don't remember who that was, but that guy did a really good job. So, yay or nay for Little Richard? Because yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay!
Yeah,
All
he was
right.
really good. He was actually really good.
As for where, by the way, we've done career retrospectives before on Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler.
Thank
The only
God.
thing updated we can say about Vince McMahon is that I don't think we've said this yet, but he's back as the CEO of WWE. However, he's not running really things day to day. He's mainly just in charge of getting WWE sold, pretty much. He hasn't done anything.
Have we not mentioned
that's-
that at all on any of these retros?
We might. Well, he hasn't been on. He hasn't been on many of the retros. So since that's happened. So
well, there you go. Yeah.
But and Jerry Lawler, nothing new as of recent for Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, so. Except for I think he is now home safe and sound even after his stroke. I believe he's okay now, which is good.
That's good.
That's good.
So let's get to the opening match, which is the reason why we're here right now. So it's Bret the Hitman Hart versus Owen Hart. Battle of the Harts brothers. So the reason why we're here is because of this match. I have never seen this match before until my birthday, actually. What a nice birthday treat for me is I got to watch one of the greatest opening matches to ever take place in WrestleMania history. I've never seen this match before. I've always wanted to review WrestleMania 10 anyways for the ladder match and obviously the storyline they do with the WWF title, but this match right here is the reason we're here. I've always wanted to see this match, but there was never an excuse for me really to go watch it. So I decided that let's make the excuse to do it for a retro. So that's why we're here. So yeah, one of the best storylines to ever take place. It's one of the very first big like family versus family feuds that they've done for the WWF. Bret Hart originally had written a letter of resignation, not recognition. He was going to basically quit the company. I don't think he ever was going to quit the company, but he wasn't necessarily happy about his position in the WWF because he was basically back in the mid-card again after being the WWF champion. Obviously, he was supposed to get the torch passed to him at SummerSlam, but then Hulk Hogan left, so it didn't end up happening. And Bret Hart talked about this in his A&E documentary, how Owen Hart was going to quit wrestling also. I believe Owen Hart was going to go be a fireman, if I'm correct. But because obviously Owen Hart had been in the company for a while, but he was always in the mid-card. Not even the mid-card. He was mainly in like the lower card. He was struggling very much in the WWF. And originally, Vince McMahon pitched a storyline that Bret Hart, I believe, was going to feud with Bruce Hart, one of his other brothers. But Bret Hart decided to go with Owen Hart because he wanted to get Owen Hart passion back for the wrestling business, pretty much. And Vince approved of the idea, so the storyline started at Survivor Series 1993. They did, it was Team Hart family versus Team Shawn Michaels and some other people. And
oh wow, that feud goes all the way back to 93. I mean, I know it went back longer if you go by the Rockers, but I'm really, they fucking had a Survivor Series match.
Well, I don't know if they were like the main feud, but I know Shawn
was
in
the
the
Harts versus Shawn Michaels and the Knights, because I think originally it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler.
Oh God, never mind.
Yeah, but he couldn't show. Yeah, he couldn't show up.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but
that sounded way cooler than what you said, Owen, and then we found out, nope, that's not what it is.
Yeah, but
he was a replacement because of something that was made allegations.
Major allegations, yes.
But anyhow, during that match, Owen Hart got eliminated from the match because of a miscommunication where he bumped into Bret Hart by accident and he got rolled up. And he was the only family member eliminated from the match. I think they would have clean sweeped had that not happened. And obviously Owen Hart was upset about this, and it led to dissension in the Hart family, where Owen Hart wanted to prove he was the best there is, the best there ever was, and he wanted to beat Bret Hart. But Bret Hart didn't want to fight his brother, so he refused the match. They eventually patched things up, and they challenged the Quebecers for the WWF tag titles at the Royal Rumble.
An old school PCO was in this team. And
Owen Hart turned on his brother in that match, and this is where there's that infamous moment where he kicks his leg out, where he kicks Bret Hart's leg out from underneath him.
Yeah, you mean kicked his leg out of his leg?
Yeah.
There you go.
And Owen Hart basically...
I kicked your leg out of your leg!
And Owen Hart wanted to challenge Bret Hart to a match at WrestleMania. He wanted to prove that he was the Bret Hart. So this led to the match being made official.
He was the Bretter? The Bretter Hart?
No, I said Better Hart. I said Better Hart.
I heard Bretter Hart, but okay.
But then, but yeah, the dedication to the storyline was really interesting. The Owen and Bret pretty much, they basically took what Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio are doing now, where obviously where anytime they're around each other, they wanted to keep kayfabe and keep this feud going, which is really cool. I think there's an infamous thing where they talked about how they went to like a mall and they both just happened to be there and they kept kayfabe. They didn't get into a fight, but they didn't really talk to each other or anything like that, which is cool. So it was cool how much kayfabe they kept in this storyline. But yeah, this is obviously significant too because Owen Hart also too because Bret Hart was going to challenge for the title later in the night regardless of the result of this match.
Right.
So the big thing that Owen Hart wanted to make sure was he wanted to beat the crap out of his brother so much that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the main event. So and you know obviously there's that storyline where Owen Hart always lived under the shadow of Bret Hart. And yeah, that's really cool stuff. So hell of a storyline going through the match. Yeah, this is a really cool match. Owen Hart came out with the Bret Hart style sunglasses, and he just tore up the sunglasses like right in front of the camera, which was cool. And then Bret Hart gave his sunglasses to a kid at ringside, and I think this kid like had some legitimate like Down syndromes or something because he did stick his tongue out, and of course because Lawler's here on commentary, he says. I think he was a fan of Owen Hart because he stuck his tongue out afterwards, but I don't think that was why he stuck his tongue out.
No, it's because because his eye is cockeyed, Jerry. let's stop.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. I mean, that was funny, admittedly, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the storyline of this match is really good. Bret Hart and Owen Hart chain wrestle each other, and I love Owen Hart's reaction because he doesn't even get the better of Bret Hart, but he's able to get out of like one of his chain holds. And Owen Hart celebrates like he got the better of Bret Hart right there. Like it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it was awesome. And Bret Hart gets the advantage throughout the beginning portions of this matchup. You know, he's out wrestling Owen Hart in the beginning. And I think the biggest storyline here is Bret Hart's not actually hitting Owen. He's actually just wrestling him. He said he was coming to have a wrestling match, which was cool. So he's mainly wrestling off the defensive, mainly the offensive, which is cool. Eventually hits a drop kick to the outside. Owen Hart goes to leave, but Bret Hart throws him back into the ring. And Owen Hart thumbs Bret Hart in the eye and hits a clothesline onto him, and he dominates the matchup for a little bit. He hits a lot of cool chain wrestling holds onto Bret. Eventually, Bret mounts a comeback. He beats up Owen Hart on the outside, throws him into the guardrail. He hits a Russian leg sweep and a fist from the middle turnbuckle, which was cool. Bret Hart hits a dive onto the outside, and he ends up hurting his knee, which was a big storyline thing because that's the very same way that Owen Hart turned on him. So he ends up doing that onto the floor, and Owen Hart works over the leg of Bret Hart for a very long time. Obviously, not too long. Jerry the King's commentary was really good for this match. This is where the heel thing kind of worked itself out because he had feuded with Bret recently, so I thought his heel work was really good here. I even love it too because anytime Bret cheats or he thinks Bret's cheated, Jerry the King Lawler would make sure to point that out, like, oh, I think he was pulling hair there or something like that. But anytime Owen Hart cheats, when Vince points it out, Jerry the King's like, oh, I didn't see that. What are you talking about? I thought that was great. I remember there's a point where like Owen has Bret in the sharpshooter, and Bret reverses it. No, it's the figure four, and then Bret turns it over and stuff. And Bret gets his hand on the ropes, and Jerry the King Lawler is like, what a coward Bret Hart is, getting to the ropes, can't even bother trying to get out of the submission hold. And
Jesus
like,
Christ, yeah, he was going nuts.
Yeah, it was great. Owen Hart hits a pile driver, SummerSlam 97 style. And then he could have won the match right there, but he has so much hatred for his brother that he goes to the top rope for the diving headbutt. and Brett moves out of the way. Brett mounts a comeback. He hits a superplex from the turnbuckles, and Brett rolls over, but Owen Hart kicks out. And he hits a really cool bulldog from the middle turnbuckle, actually. And then eventually Owen Hart locks in the sharpshooter, and Bret Hart counters the sharpshooter into his own sharpshooter, which I didn't even think was fucking possible. But Bret Hart somehow made that possible. I couldn't believe it. And then eventually, Bret Hart goes for a roll-up while he's on the top turnbuckle. Like, he goes for, like, a victory roll. And Owen Hart uses Bret's momentum, and because of the injured leg and everything, and turns it into a roll-up of his own, and he ends up winning the match. That was a really cool finish. And I love the way that Owen Hart won, where he just outsmarted and out-wrestled his brother. He actually didn't even cheat to win. He just got lucky and won, which was really cool. They did give Bret a little bit of an out, saying that his heart wasn't into the match. And if you watch the match, you could tell that was the case. But this was actually like a clean win right here. It's I give the match 5 stars. I think it's like one of the best opening matches I've ever seen at WrestleMania. I think if you put this on, well, before we talk about it, let's let Chris and James break down the match, and Steve if he gets on here in time, which you know that's going to happen. But we'll start with Chris since he hasn't been able to talk because Steve's kind of taking the spotlight a little bit. What did you think of this match and your star rating and everything like that?
Okay. This match is a fucking classic and a clinic in professional wrestling. This match is just phenomenal and fantastic. Every fucking word you can think of to describe a professional wrestling match is this.
Yep.
Watch it because it's a 5-star match between two brothers who are literally some of the greatest professional wrestlers to ever live on this planet.
Yep.
Just watch the match. You don't even need to go too far into depth. Just watch the fucking match. It's fantastic.
It's the best match ever to... It's the best opening match between two people ever for WrestleMania. It could have main evented. That's how good this was. And it would later main event it would main event in a cage at SummerSlam that year. So yeah.
No, it didn't. Did it not?
Did it not main event?
It didn't. It did not main event. It was the 2 Undertaker match that main evented.
Fuck yeah! Fuck that!
Yes!
No!
Fuck yes!
That's awful.
Nice try, James. Though nice try.
That's awful.
Nice fucking try.
Let me stay in my Mandela state, you prick. Why?
Nice fucking try. Nice fucking try trying to throw out knowledge out there that doesn't fucking exist. Do you realize who you're on a fucking podcast with?
Listen,
do you fucking realize who you're on a podcast with trying to throw shit?
Fight to the death!
Hey, chill. I didn't know. I didn't watch this pay-per-view. It might as well have been the main event. It was better than that fucking
It wasn't
shit.
the main event, though.
It should have been.
It should have been, yes, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was 2 Undertakers going at it, because Teddy Long booked that match. What else did you think was going to main event if Teddy Long's booking it?
All right.
But anyhow.
I mean, what about Sid Vicious, player? Anyway.
But anyhow,
They would have broke his leg.
Fuck.
But anyhow, there is one match, in my opinion, that tops this match as an opener. Maybe just because of how I was feeling during the match, and that was obviously Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, because I was legitimately afraid Daniel Bryan wasn't going to the main event of WrestleMania. So that's the only match, in my opinion.
That might be better. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It took 30 years.
29
yeah.
years later, and this is still the greatest opener of all time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But just waiting for this match, James. You didn't get to give
5 all day. 5 stars all day. Fuck yeah. That's
3 ain't enough. You gotta give him 5.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5.
So Bret the Hitman Hart, we've done a career retrospective on before. There's no new information on him. Owen Hart, since he shows up again later, we will do a career, because I don't think we've done a career retrospective on Owen Hart. So since he shows up on the show again later, we will do that later. Afterwards, Owen does do an interview. He gets interviewed by Todd Pettengill, and he's very cocky. He talks about how he proves that he's the better brother, and he talks about how he's made sure that Bret Hart's not going to make it to the main event later. And if he does, he's ruined himself he's ruined him mentally that he's just might as well not be at the main event. Which this was a really good promo by Owen Hart, just really good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, throughout the night, it showed WrestleMania moments since this was the 10-year anniversary of WrestleMania.
Sponsored
so
by Coliseum Video, by the way.
By the way, James, I think you should know this song. I'm pretty sure this song that they used to plays in 2K14. It's like the real generic, like new generation era WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure it plays in 2K4. You probably shut that version off though, knowing you, because it's very generic. It's really annoying to listen to when you have to hear it all.
Or is it Which one?
Yeah.
That one?
That's the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay, so I just did both just in case. Karaoke, which
and scene.
But the WrestleMania moment was first from WrestleMania. They're all chronologically. This is from WrestleMania 2, though. It showed when they went to 3 venues in one night, and it showed the Battle Royal on that show.
I can't believe they fucking dignified this Mania anything else but other than it was shit. How dare you air any of this fucking Mania on my fucking eyes on Mania 10? Fucking shame on you, Vince. You know it was shit. You said it was shit, and yet you're airing that shit anyway. Fuck you.
Because it's all...
It's what?
It was such a cluster fucking production.
Dude, it was so bad. Why are you doing it in 3 arenas?
Because they needed to.
They needed to.
Remember too,
yeah.
And you could, and you know what the funny thing is? They could say, "Oh, technology wasn't good back then," so that way they tried it again. And for Raw, was it what was it, the 25th?
Raw 30, yeah, Raw 25, and it sucked then too.
Yeah.
Although it could have been good.
None of
to
the
be
shows
fair.
at the Manhattan Center.
To be fair, it could have been good. It could have been. The problem is Vince was the one producing it, so we're never gonna fucking know if it works. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that. Because I don't think third time's a charm. I think it's dumb. Stop doing it.
Well, if Triple H in the helmet could work, so.
Yeah, they have to really plan that shit out right, though.
Yeah. But anyhow, so, James, you can take us through the next match and the storylines and everything like that. It's the mixed tag match. It's Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Fashawn versus Doink and Dink the Clown in a mixed tag match.
Doink and Dick. There we go.
No, Dink. It's Dink, not Dink.
I was trying to fucking keep a poker face, Chris, and you fucked that up for me.
So take us through the storyline, take us through the match and everything like that. So,
this match sucked.
Thank you.
Oh, Chris, you could talk about it.
No, let him fucking take it. You think I'm gonna fucking dignify this shit?
No.
No.
So, Chris,
I will.
So, Chris, take us through the match. Take us through the storyline behind the match, and take us through the match.
I don't even care because it was terrible.
It was so fucking awful, dude. Why?
Rick at this point has turned face, and it's Ray Apollo now.
Yeah.
And he needed a fucking midget sidekick named Dink or Dick, whatever you want to call him. and yeah, this match sucks. There's just a lot of comedy in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say. I thought you were about to say a lot of cock. I was about to lose my mind.
If it was, you're gonna watch something else.
But I remember one thing that happened that was kind of random before the match.
You think when the clouds orgasm, they just have like party streamers come out?
They fucking do.
But
or water gun.
One thing I remembered from this, by the way, I completely overlooked it. So there was this guy that was like a hairstylist or something. He apparently did like Howard Finkel's like hair like that day or something, and like Howard Finkel had like a really spiffy hairdo on this show, and it was like treated like a big deal. So it was really.
And then it was
weird.
gone after that because it was fake.
Yeah, and then I think during that when Doink and Dink are making their entrances, Dink, I did say Dink that time. Doink and Dink are making their entrances. He has this flower on like his chest, and they do that prank where he squirts the flower like in that guy's face. Not Howard Finkel, but the guy that like did the hairstyle for him.
Yeah.
The hair guy, yeah. And his hair did not get affected by it. His hair was that stylish where it could take that damage. So
God, this.
I guess I'll just go through. I guess
No,
I'll just go through the match.
No, just fuck it. Just,
Somehow this
just
is classified as a mixed tag, even though there's 3 men in this match.
like
Yeah, it's not
just,
good. Like,
no, just fucking don't go and break this down. There's no need to break it down. It's so bad. It doesn't deserve the fucking privilege. Please,
should I at
please
least
move on.
should I at least say how they won?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure, like, didn't Bam Bam Bigelow, I think he went with a headbutt to Doink, and then afterwards they tried to, like, hurt Dink, and I remember they did this, like, terrible thing where Bam Bam Bigelow went for a splash, and Luna Fashawn at the same time. Bam Bam missed, but Luna Fashawn still got, somehow Doink and Dink stood tall, even though they fucking lost the match. It didn't even make any sense. Like, it was weird. This match is, like, one star. It was fucking awful.
They treated, dude, I give fucking, I give a -1. Dude, they fucking treated Bam Bam so poorly while he was in the WWF. To this day, I'm convinced Russo-rific WCW used him better than what fucking Vince did used him in WWF. Like, they fucking absolutely buried this guy 6 feet deep. Didn't give a single fuck. The only time they ever fucking utilized this motherfucker anyway properly, anyway decently, was when he was in the fucking Lawrence Taylor match, and he still took the loss!
Yeah.
Fuck.
This match is terrible. I give it a 1.
Fuck this match, dude.
What do you give? What do you give this match, Chris? As like a style?
A -5.
Wow, that's that bad. Whoa.
Honestly, I don't blame you. Yeah. I will say I have seen worse, but
yeah,
there's no justifying it.
Yeah,
I get it. Like Doink and Dink were like a comedy act, and they were meant for children, but like. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
And the fact, like you said, James, like they fucking went for the spot, and Bam Bam missed, and Luna hit it, and they were both supposed to miss.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but anyhow,
that
so
happened
going
too,
through
Jesus Christ.
Going through the career retrospectives, Bam Bam Bigelow would stay with Luna. Oh, here's Steve.
There's Steve. Okay, I gotta move Chris over. There we go. Hi, Steve. Hi, Steve.
More gymnastics.
Hello.
All right.
So, Steve, I'm just doing a quick.
There we go.
I gotta move him
All
again.
right, so I'm just doing a quick career retrospective, and then you can give your thoughts on what we've covered so far. So
Sounds good.
So as for Bam Bam Bigelow would be, like James said, completely misused in the WWF. He would his services with Luna Fashawn would end, and then Ted DiBiase bought like his contract, and he was part of $1 million corporation. And then he was turned on for not being a good asset, and then he left the company in like '96-ish. He went to WCW. He was part of like the hardcore division and all that type of stuff. They utilized.
He went to ECW first and had that awesome feud with Taz, and then went to WCW's hardcore division, pretty much.
And then he went after WCW folded. He wrestled in the Indies, and then he passed away in 2007. I think it was like a lung issue. I forget what it's called. They originally it said a heart attack, but it wasn't a heart attack.
No, it was a lung. It was a lung problem.
Yeah. Oh yes, I am. I'll actually look it up right now while you keep talking about him.
All right, cool.
And then as for Doink the Clown, obviously this version of Doink the Clown wouldn't last much longer. Matt Bourne had been pretty much out of the company by this point, so Doink the Clown would be continuously brought back as various gimmicks played by different people. I'm pretty sure shortly after this, he had that awful feud with Jerry Lawler where we had that match at Survivor Series that the less said about that, the better. Mm-hmm. And then Doink the Clown has been occasionally brought back. I'm pretty sure that the last time we've seen Doink the Clown was meant to be at Money in the Bank 2020, but we still don't know if that was meant to be Doink the Clown or not.
I was saying, according to Wikipedia, Bigelow's girlfriend found him dead in his home in Hudson, Florida at approximately 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the morning of January 19th, 2007. He was 45 years old. An autopsy found that Bigelow's death was due to multiple drugs found in his system, including toxic levels of cocaine and anti-anxiety drugs.
Oh.
A contributing factor in Bigelow's passing was, I'm going to take my time saying this, arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. So we did have some form of
it was a lung issue.
But
okay.
it was it was that.
And then,
on top of obviously a lot of drugs in his
Yeah.
system, doing him any favors.
And then going through Dink the Clown's
There's a
retrospective.
There's a fucking retrospective on Dink. All right.
Yeah, there is. After the Dink the Clown phased out, he would be a part of WCW as like a one-off, and then he was in 2017. He showed up at Joey Janela's. I forget I think it's called the Sprint. It's not Sprint Stampede, but whatever the show does for Joey Janela.
Joey Janela's Spring Break. Yep.
Yeah, he was a part of that show at one point, and he hasn't really done much else in the wrestling business. So, as for
I'm more concerned about Dick the Clown. What's his career retrospective?
He went into porn.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gentlemen, we're getting
and then he
oh, we got a cat. Wait, stop the presses. Cat has been spotted, and it's cute.
Cat Steiner's made an appearance.
Cat Steiner, yeah.
There you go.
What am I gonna do? Eat my cat food? I can't eat my cat food. I'm getting picked up.
And then as for Luna Fashan, we already did a career retrospective of Luna Fashan at Royal Rumble 2000. So
there you go.
Before we continue with the show, Steve, you have to give some thoughts on some of these matches and stints.
Right. So I already know what the first match is, just based off pure memory. Brett versus Owen.
Yeah.
I actually did at one point just go through an effort of quickly going through WrestleManias 1 through 38, including night 1, night 2, separating them just to watch every opening match back to back.
Yeah.
And I can pretty comfortably and confidently say Brett versus Owen is the best opening match of all time in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've seen other ones, and I think just by 2023 standards, it's still a solid match. I think, by 2023 standards, it's probably at minimum a 4-star match.
For sure.
But by 94, right?
94.
Correct, yeah, it was 94.
By 94 standards, it's easily a 5-star match.
Yeah.
We still gave it, we all still gave it 5 stars anyways for the storyline alone.
Yeah,
too,
and in terms of story going in and coming out of it, it plays perfectly with, Owen winning, but as we'll soon come to see how the main event ends, that plays into a factor of Owen feeling like he's the real champion because of how WrestleMania 10 ends.
Yes.
And I had actually originally, before we got to this point now, kind of thought that maybe going into WrestleMania 39, we could see something like that with Roman having 2 titles. I was like, oh, maybe, if The Rock did come back, they do, Rock versus Roman as one of the matches, but, Cody gets the other title match, so he has to wrestle like Seth Rollins or something.
And well, then Sami Zayn got Uber over, though. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, and credit to WWE where it's due. They've handled that really well of being like, he's not our main event guy, but we're still going to give him everything but the main event spot. And they've, in my opinion, they've held up to that end of the bargain,
Especially too.
He's not the main event, but he is everything else.
But there's a good chance he could be the main event of one of the nights of night 1 at least.
Yeah, and I think, he hasn't been buried. I think people see, okay, maybe this is Cody's time, and people seem to be okay with that. They seem to be behind that because they know that, obviously, Sammy's not done. He's got, him and Kevin got more in the tank.
For sure.
For
But back to WrestleMania 10, the only other thing you have to give thoughts on is the mixed tag match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Fashan versus Doink and Dink the Clown.
I kind of came in as you guys were talking about it. Yeah, Bam Bam, just very poorly mismanaged by both WWF and WCW.
I think it's funny because I think he was used better in WCW than he was in the Federation.
I was gonna say I feel like he was used a little better by WWF because at least they tried. I guess there was effort. There's poor execution.
Yeah, there was effort by Lawrence Taylor time. Then it was a fucking effort.
Yeah, and credit, going back to WrestleMania, it was 11, right? Taylor versus Bigelow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like going back to that, for what it, well, actually going forward since we're at 10, going forward to that, obviously, that's an example of A for effort. They're putting him in the Mania main event, but obviously Mania 11 doesn't rank very high on people's favorite WrestleManias.
No.
Yeah.
But he still has that distinction of being able to say Bam Bam Bigelow was in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that does count for something. So that's what I mean by WWF definitely cared. I just don't think they knew what they were doing.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily blame them a whole lot because they had other options. I mean, by the time Diesel was chosen as the big guy, in retrospect, maybe they should have done someone like Bigelow instead.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
WCW, I feel like if you weren't NWO, they did not care about you at all. If you were, unless your name was Sting or Lex Luger, they didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Ric Flair kind of got the short end of the stick during the NWO run.
For sure.
People just remember him because whenever he got screen time, he made it count because he's Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and same goes for Luna. Underused by the WWF.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she went to WCW or not.
Yeah, she was for like a cup of coffee, but she could basically, because of her issues, she just kept bouncing in and out of companies. Like she had by this point, her schizophrenia was off the fucking charts.
Yeah, I watched her Dark Side of the Ring, but I only watched it once, so I don't really remember too much of it. I have to go back and rewatch it. That's just kind of ironic because that team right there can just be labeled as mismanaged wherever we go.
Yes.
Asterisk, except for ECW. All treated Bigelow good.
Pretty much.
And then on the other end, I mean, Doink and Dink the Clown, I mean, I think they set the standard for what a parody wrestler should be, and I'm not going to knock them. I think they were given a task, and they did it perfectly. I think Matt Bourne, despite all his issues, played Doink to perfection.
Yeah.
I really do.
All right, next.
Yeah.
I'll continue.
No, that's really it. There's really not much to say. I was just going to go off
next.
on that.
So next, they showed another WrestleMania moment. It was from WrestleMania 3 when Rick the Model Martel, I believe, and Randy Savage had their blindfold match, I believe.
Wait, WrestleMania 3?
I remember it shows at one of them because I remember it doesn't show Hogan versus Andre on that one, so I don't remember which WrestleMania would have been.
I thought they just showed the fucking crowd at 3, didn't they?
They might have, yeah, when they broke the record and stuff. So,
yeah.
But then continuing, we had a Falls Count Anywhere match. It was Macho Man Randy Savage versus Crush with Mr. Fuji inside. The reason for this feud was Crush and Macho Man Randy Savage were not the best of friends, but they had a friendship on screen and everything like that. And they started to have miscommunications when it came down to situations. And Mr. Fuji utilized that to his advantage, and basically Crush joined up with Mr. Fuji, and he turned heel on Macho Man Randy Savage. There's that famous segment where it looked like...
I'm just ignoring it.
Well, I didn't have my window open, so that's why.
Oh my god!
Accurate. But there's that famous moment though where it looks like they got back together, but Crush takes his head off, Macho Man's head off with a clothesline, and Crush had cost Macho Man Randy Savage the WWF title before this. So there's a lot of storyline behind this match, which was good. We had the match itself. Before the match starts, Macho Man Randy Savage attacks Crush, and I didn't mention this. I should mention this now. This is not the typical Falls Count Anywhere match that you're used to seeing. It is Falls Count Anywhere, but the caveat now is you have to get back to the if you get pinned or submitted, you have to get back to the win within a minute. Which I don't know.
What a weird format. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't keep this. Yeah, it's just a Texas death match, basically. But the only difference between a Texas death match and this is you have to get in the ring by the count of 10. That's the only difference.
Yeah, within a minute, yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush brawl with each other. Eventually, Crush overpowers Macho Man Randy Savage. He hits a backbreaker while on the outside, and Vince McMahon tried to make it seem like this was like a devastating move that he did it on the outside, but it's just a regular fucking backbreaker. It's not anything. It's nothing different about it. Like
it's devastating on the outside because it's on concrete, but the ring that they used back then might as well have been concrete. So what the fucking difference, Vince? The fuck's the difference? It's not like you just slammed them on concrete. You hit a backbreaker, a standard backbreaker.
But then Crush picks up Macho Man in a gorilla press position, and he drops him throat first across the guardrail, covers him, gets the pinfall. So Macho Man Randy Savage has 60 seconds to get back to the ring, and it looks like he's going to well ahead of 60 seconds. But behind the ref's back, Mr. Fuji hits him in the back with a flag. And this causes him nearly to not make it, but he makes it within like the last second. I loved it too because Vince McMahon, before Mr. Fuji hit him with the back with the flag, was like, "Oh, he's totally gonna make it." And then Mr. Fuji hit him in the back with the flag, and Vince was like, "Oh, come on, what was that?" Like Vince was like pissed about this, like he was not happy.
He was not a happy camper.
And then Crush continues to dominate Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man Randy Savage mounts a comeback. He hits the typical Macho Man clothesline, the knee to the spine, the axe handle from the middle turnbuckle, and then he hits the elbow drop, and then he throws Crush out of the ring and covers him on the outside because, it makes sense to do that considering the fact that I think if he pinned him in the ring, I guess he would already be in the ring, so there wouldn't really be that drama. So Crush has 60 seconds to get back into the ring, and Jerry the King Lawler wants to help out Crush. He wants to throw water at him, which Lawler shouldn't have said that because that gave away that spot. Mr. Fuji grabs a picture of water and pours it over Crush, which allows him to get back in the ring in time. And Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush continue to fight with each other. They fight into the crowd, and they just fight into the crowd. Macho Man Randy Savage throws Crush into a door that was set up to in the audience and stuff. And Macho Man Randy Savage pinned Crush, and there was this I don't even know what to call this. There was this structure. I think it was a lift or something like that. And Macho Man Randy, there's this rope that's around it, like cables and stuff. Macho Man Randy Savage ties up Crush upside down, and he goes back to the ring. And because Crush is tied up, he doesn't make it back to the ring within the minute. And what was funny about this is Macho Man Randy Savage just starts beating the crap out of Mr. Fuji while this is going on, which was funny. I thought the match was good. I gave it 3 stars. I think the thing that hurt this match was that stupid stipulation they did where you had to make it back into the ring within a minute. I feel like the match was a little too short. I feel like this match should have just been a regular Falls Count Anywhere match. I gave it 3 stars, though. I thought that it was cool they tried something new here. I like the finish a lot, too, where Macho Man tied him up backstage and stuff like that. So I gave the match 3 stars. Macho Man Randy Savage, I believe this was his... I don't think this was his last match in the company, but this was his last match at Mania, so it's significant for that reason. But before I go over career retrospectives and stuff, let's get everyone else's thoughts. We're going to start with Steve this time. How about that? What did you think of this match between Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush?
Oh, it was all right. I think, obviously you got Macho Man in there who, at this point, did still have a lot left to give, but he knew he was being held back in the Federation at this time. He was obviously looking toward Hogan and greener pastures in WCW for him. So I think by this point, he probably in the back of his head knew what his next move was going to be. He just had to wait for it.
Yeah.
But, even when he did kind of phone it in my opinion, but even when Macho Man's phoning it in, it's still pretty decent. Crush, I've never thought Crush was as bad as people seem to kind of say, oh yeah, he was okay, he wasn't that good. I think he was just, average. I don't think he was good or bad. I think he's really that mid-tier 2.5-star to 3-star wrestler, I guess. I thought the match was decent, though. Like you said, all your points I'm kind of on the same wavelength of. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the match 3 stars.
Chris, what did you think of this gem of a match right here? Your favorite WrestleMania match that you've ever seen in your life?
Well, that's lofty.
That's lofty.
This match itself was good. The stip really, in a way, brought it down for me. I think if it was like a straight up match, I would have been fine. I gave it 3 stars, but the stip was just weird. It was, you had to get back into the ring after being pinned, and if you don't, you lose. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, they just
really bizarre match.
As I said, it was it was a Texas death match, but you had to get back into the ring before the count of 10. That's all that's what it was.
It's just bizarre, but yeah, it was a solid match.
James?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was 3. I mean, it wasn't actually, I'd say 2.5. It wasn't even great. It wasn't bad either. I'd say it was just like right at that average line. I think it was kind of weird that you did this match and handicapped Macho Man because, like, I'm sure a lot of people went there to see him perform the elbow drop, and the fact that they didn't do that, you know, I feel like people might have been cheated. That's just me.
But he did the elbow drop. He did the elbow drop.
Oh, then never mind.
He did, yeah.
That's how much I was not paying attention to this match then. I just saw, like, weird stipulation. I'm like, and I'm good. And I'm good. Alright, well, fair enough then. But yeah, it was a weird stip. I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite thing. I watched this, like, the finish where he's hog-tying him to the fucking wires was clever at least, but, like, also kind of cheap. What a cheap way for a babyface to win, I'm going to just say. But, yeah, that's really it. 2.5.
As for the career retrospective, when it comes down with Crush, Crush would do a few more things in the WWF, but really didn't achieve anything. And then he went to WCW. I believe he was a part of Chronic in WCW. And then when
wait, was he
Chronic,
Brian Adams, or am I thinking of a different person?
I believe he was Brian Adams.
Okay, so
yeah,
he wasn't done with the WWF just yet. He would become a jailbird, and then he would team up with Slick, and then he would team up with Farouk, and then he was a part of the initial version of the Nation of Domination.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then he got fucking rid of his ass quickly, and then they had the second incarnation of the Nation of Domination, while he would go on to lead the Disciples of Apocalypse all the way up until 1997 when the Montreal Screwjob happened, and he was one of the very many people that left WWF after the Screwjob happened, and he would go into WCW and join the NWO. And he was a part of the B team when they merged the two factions again, by the way. And he was a part of the B team, and then he would join Chronic, and then Chronic would be a thing, and then he would have that really funky match with Taker and Kane, and that was pretty much it for him in the WWF.
Then they sent him back down to, like, developmental, and then I'm pretty sure, like, him and his partner in Chronic had, like, a run in the Indies, and then they retired due to, like, injuries and stuff like that. So
pretty much, yeah.
And I think he pretty much. I think he had an issue recently, like back in 2020, like right before the pandemic, maybe during the pandemic, because it's in February 2020, and technically it was in like February-ish, where he got arrested due to like all this stuff. Like he had a firearm. Let me make sure this is correct before I say this.
I mean, Steve could be our research guy. He can do it.
I have the thing right here.
Okay,
Brian Adams will take a look right now.
Well, apparently Owen's already got beat in a punch, so never mind. I was just saying, like, because he's having an issue with this wire, and I'm trying to have him not touch the wire, because it makes some weird-ass feedback noise.
Go Google, not Brian Adams, the singer.
Nice.
It was not Brian Adams. It was he passed away in 2007.
Okay. So then you're thinking of the other Chronic member.
I think I am.
Okay. Ow.
Okay, so and then as for Mr. Fuji, this would be kind of like the end of his managerial services in the WWF. He would obviously continue to manage Crush and Yokozuna and things like that, and then he mainly just worked behind the scenes and things like that.
Yeah.
And then he was kind of like a road agent, and then eventually he himself got like sick. And had to be confined to a wheelchair toward the end of stages of his life. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I believe, in 2011. And then he passed away in 2020. I don't think of COVID. I think just all of his, I think just of old age, pretty much, and all that type of stuff. So
yeah.
I did check. The other member of Chronic, Brian Clark, is the one you were thinking of.
Okay.
AKA Adam Baum. AKA.
Oh yeah.
He was arrested in Arizona on 5 felony charges relating to alleged acts between January and April of 2019. They include conspiracy, drug possession, illegal control of enterprise, transporting or selling narcotics, and possessing a weapon during a drug offense.
Nice.
All charges were dismissed by prosecution motion in June 18th of 2021. His entire case has been thrown out since. This is all according to Wikipedia.
Oh, wow. So he wasn't even guilty. Okay. Fuck it.
Yep.
There you go.
So before this had even happened anyways, any of this matches, the president at that time, Bill Clinton, showed up to WrestleMania, and it was obviously a big deal because the president of the United States.
Bill Clinton.
Clinton.
Bill Clinton, in air quotes. It wasn't Bill Clinton. It was
I didn't think so, but I was
it was an impersonator. They
Yeah, couldn't get the fucking real one there.
No shit. I wonder why. Maybe it's the fact that he's busy running the country.
But anyhow, so later in the show,
Monica Lewinsky.
I was gonna say, according to Shawn Michaels, his favorite game was Swallow the Leader.
Yeah, maybe that's what that was.
But anyhow, but Bill Clinton gets interviewed, sort of. I say sort of because I guess it wasn't Bill Clinton. And he talks about being at WrestleMania and things, and he talks about, taxes. And doing this, Owen R. Schweister's behind him in the crowd. And Owen R. Schweister tells him that he thinks he's doing a good job running the country. And I think at that time, Bill Clinton had just raised taxes. So obviously, this made IRS happy because he's the tax man. So
I remember that part where he turned around to Schweister. He's like, aren't you the guy with that creepy son who hangs out in the swamp? He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But so career retrospective, we've done it before on IRS. We did it in SummerSlam 1992. As for Bill Clinton, I guess we can't really do one.
No, we can't because he's not the real Bill Clinton. I will say, because I have to fucking criticize this a little bit here. How are you going to have a Bill Clinton impersonator, right? And fool people into believing, because I'm sure a majority of people did, believing that this was the real Bill Clinton, right? And not have him be interested in anything at all whatsoever. I swear to God, this is the most monotone interview I have ever heard anybody give in my life. This guy couldn't have given a fuck less that he was at WrestleMania. Not one fucking iota of a shit. And you were just interviewing him, trying to get something out of this fucking guy. He gives you nothing. He gives you fucking nothing. He's like, oh yeah, I like being at WrestleMania, here I am, just, my favorite wrestler is the Macho Man. I remember watching WWF as a kid, ooh. Show a little fucking enthusiasm. Like, just show a little enthusiasm there, Bill. Jesus Christ.
Steve, what do you think of this impersonator pretending to be Bill Clinton?
Well, it wouldn't be the last time they tried getting a presidential impersonator on screen. I don't even know what to say. I think James hit all the points. It's just
so bad, dude.
90s wrestling cringe at
pure
wrestling 90s cringe at its highest. Like, and by 90s, I mean early 90s, pre-Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Like pre-planting the seed for the Attitude Era. I mean, I'll be someone that'll tell you WrestleMania 12 is the real start of the Attitude Era in terms of planting seeds, but that's a story for. It's just Yeah. Just there's my quote.
Chris, your thought of this Bill Clinton impersonator?
At least he wasn't fucking Monica Lewinsky.
I mean, yeah. Hey, yeah, you know, there is that.
So, Chris,
well, as far as we know, for all we know, he could have been in the skybox, and Monica could have been, you know, next to him sneaking in a handy. We don't know. We don't know.
We can't, like we said, we can't.
Hey, there may have been a Monica Lewinsky. Imagine if there was a Monica Lewinsky impersonator. You know, that'd be crazy.
But we can't, like we said, we can't really do a career retrospective on Bill Clinton because this wasn't even the real Bill Clinton, and we can't find the other guy anywhere. So you know, that's how we can't really do that. So
can't find the other guy. All right.
I mean, online anyway.
I mean, he was
I assume he's fine.
He was on Family Guy once. He might have been an impersonator too. There you go.
Yeah, it could have been the same dude.
Could have been the same guy. You're probably right.
Then it showed footage of FanFest. This was obviously before WrestleMania Access. They showed all the stuff that you could do at FanFest. We saw people having like a sumo match during this show. We saw you could have commentated a match on this show, which would have been pretty cool. I think James would totally, if he went to FanFest, that would be what he would do. He would go call a match.
Noah Foster, where you at? Where you at?
But you could go meet the wrestlers.
Why did you say it like Ted Turner?
Meet the
Why not?
You gotta go meet the wrestlers.
But you could go. I think there was like a bit where you could like have Doink the Clown throw a pie in your face, which people paid for that. That's weird.
Fucking goddamn it! All right.
And then the biggest thing that was the coolest thing was they had the funeral parlor where you could go into the coffin and get your picture taken with Paul Bearer. That was really cool. That's cool stuff.
All right, whatever floats people's boats, I guess. That's just, what a weird fan access. I know you would have wanted to, and that's fair enough.
No, James, not Fan Access, Fan Fest.
I'm sorry, Fan Fest. Fan Fest. What a weird convention. Like, this is so weird.
Well, you got. So James gave his thoughts. Chris, what were your thoughts on seeing what this Fan Fest was like?
It was a look into the first Fan Fest. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was just very weird. I don't know.
Steve, your thoughts on what this Fan Fest looked like? Did it look fun to you, or was it just weird?
I mean, you got to start somewhere with the like Fan Fest interactivity stuff. Obviously, this has evolved into WrestleMania Access nowadays. For an early version of it, not bad.
Yeah,
and then it shows Macho Man. It shows Macho Man Randy Savage celebrating his win against Crush. He doesn't really say anything too significant here. He's just kind of like whatever. I mean, he's obviously pumped up and stuff, but it's just nothing significant that really happens. So
he fought,
and then it shows another WrestleMania. And then it showed another WrestleMania moment from WrestleMania 4 when Macho Man Randy Savage won the WWF title. It showed like all of his tournament matches he went through to get to that moment, so that was cool. And then we had the next match. It was for the WWF Women's Championship. It was Alundra Blaze defending the title against Leilani Kai. It's cool that they had Leilani Kai there just because she was at the first WrestleMania. So it's cool that she's like one of the only people that actually has like a match that was at the first WrestleMania. So that was cool stuff. Not much of a storyline behind this match. I think the women's division at this time was just they would just randomly throw them on the card and just hope it would stick. This didn't stick.
No.
The match wasn't necessarily anything bad, but they were just doing moves. It was just all random stuff. The worst part about the match was Jerry the King Lawler's commentary. Maybe it was good at the time, but it does not translate well. He's pretty much just making fun of Alundra Blaze for her looks. It was just really uncomfortable, at least in my opinion anyways.
Yeah, something about, like, she has $1 million body and a 10-cent face, which was, like, fucked up. Super
Yeah, it was
fucked.
really... nothing really wrong with the match or anything like that. Alundra Blaze won with, like, I believe, like a power bomb, but this match was just really nothing to it. Just really short. I gave it like 2.5 stars because the moves were good, but really nothing special about this match at all.
Yeah,
what do you think about this, James?
Same, 2.5 stars. There was really no point in having this match.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things where, sadly, it was generally accepted at the time that this stuff could be said, but that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention also, you had fucking people like Moolah pushing that fucking agenda also, so, she could fucking suck a dick.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't even want to start talking about Moolah because I don't think I'll stop.
Yeah, I will say she was in the crowd for this, so that just goes to show you how vindictive this bitch was. Anyway, carry on.
Going through the career retrospectives, we've done one for Leilani Kai at WrestleMania 1. For Alundra Blaze, she would be in the company till like 95. She had like a killer match with Bull Nakano, I believe. I think it was on Raw or SummerSlam or both. I remember there's like a really famous women's match that they have with each other. And then she lost the belt to Bertha Faye, I believe, at SummerSlam 95. And then she won the belt back at some point. And she walked out with the title and the first time.
Reconnection successful. There we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I'm glad I caught that now. But yeah, fucking okay. As far as this match goes, like as far as Alundra goes, Alundra went to like WCW and then she threw the belt in the trash. That was supposed to be the genesis of a new women's division, which Eric Bischoff was building. However, the problem is he obviously didn't give too much of a fuck because he was trying to get all these women from Japan, which is exactly what the WWF was doing, and it didn't fucking work because you actually needed women that were of homegrown talent, which they didn't get any until Jacqueline of 97. So that didn't fucking happen. So they just retired the fucking belt silently. And then Alundra Blaze silently retired for a little bit. And then came back, won the Cruiserweight title, and then retired again. So I don't know.
There's one thing you missed, too. They did the tournament. The stupidest thing they did with Alundra Blaze in that tournament, they did the tournament, and I think Alundra Blaze was eliminated in the first fucking round of the tournament.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, they had it in WCW. They had the WCW Women's title overseas in Japan, in New Japan, or whatever fucking Joshi promotion was at that time.
But yeah, she came back and won the Cruiserweight title, and then when I think she left the WCW when she saw that it was going to go under and Vince was going to buy it, and she wasn't in good terms with Vince over
I'm surprised she didn't leave after the Oklahoma segment.
Yeah, that too.
Seriously.
But she made up with the WWE. She made up with the WWE in, I believe, 2017 and was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And she's done sporadic appearances in professional wrestling. She was in the NWA. She was supposed to be like an on-air authority figure, but because Billy Corgan doesn't know what he's doing with the NWA, it never went anywhere. Mm-hmm. And then she's shown up in AEW as part of the women's tag team Deadly Draw thing they did in 2020, which didn't amount to shit. And then, mainly because one of the wrestlers that won the tournament, but that's besides the point. But she was there, and then. She's shown up at the Mae Young Classics. She's shown up at, I think she was like part of Mixed Match Challenge doing like the pre-show. And then she showed up and did something with the NXT Women's Tag Titles where she got it out of the trash can when Cora Jade threw it in the bin and stuff. So I feel like Alundra Blaze's appearances as of recent haven't been that good. So
no,
they
but do doing this utilize her well at all.
Both throwing that belt in the bin. The one thing of note and important she's really done is her Hall of Fame induction, where she took it out, and it was kind of the burying the hatchet, because obviously she's gone on record numerous times saying instantly regretted doing that. Bischoff pretty much had to convince her into doing it, and nobody benefited from it.
Not a single
person. It hurt
person.
Vince, but it hurt Vince, but it also hurt WCW. It also hurt Alundra. It was just very...
Nobody benefited.
Yeah.
I get tasteless, maybe is the word. It's just stupid. A stupid move that, I think... And Bischoff has admitted it was a bad idea himself now. It was obviously a heat of the moment where, he's hyped up on all this adrenaline of going at Vince and doing everything to hurt him. He probably figured, oh yeah, it's just another move, another cog in the wheel. Hindsight is 2020. Yeah. He didn't see that. That was obviously not true. But you know what? So that's another reason why WCW isn't around today and WWE is. So they have it.
There you go.
Well, I mean, to be fair, WCW died because of Turner executives wanted nothing to do with it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can.
We know why they fucking died. Russo could have. Russo could have booked the greatest fucking WCW of all time. It wouldn't have fucking mattered. They were gonna die in 01. Like that. Yeah, that was it.
WCW's coffin has a lot of nails in it, but it's a story for another day.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about one of them.
And then it shows another WrestleMania moment from WrestleMania 5. I believe this is when they show the blindfold match, actually, between Jake the Snake Roberts and Rick the Motel. It sounds like that time.
No. Yeah, this didn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense now. Why did you have two of the greatest workers at that time in fucking blindfolds? The fuck?
Yeah. Then we had the next match. It was the Quebecers defending the WWF Tag Team titles with Johnny Polo inside versus Men on a Mission. The Quebecers and Men on a Mission have been working
while you do this,
doing the house.
While you do this, I'm gonna get a drink because this is my break to get a drink.
Get drunk, baby.
Oh, what about Johnny Polo? Props to anyone who gets that reference.
Nice.
But anyhow, so yeah, the Quebecers and Men on a Mission were working the house shows together. At this time, the Quebecers had consistently retained their belts off any means necessary. Men on a Mission were a fairly new act in the company. And funny thing about this is the Quebecers don't even get an entrance. They cut to Wanda Shear, who was a celebrity who was about to premiere a new show called Up All Night. And if you know, go look up what Wanda Shear looks like. And I've never seen the show, but you can imagine it's a very slutty show where she's up all night with certain celebrities and things like that. I've never seen the show, but that's what I assume it's about. Because that's what they... But she's being interviewed, and Shawn Michaels comes up, and he hits on her. And who comes up? I forget who comes up. It's one of the celebrities that comes up. Just give me a second. So I don't know his name if I see it. I believe it was Burt Reynolds comes up, and they get together. He makes fun of Shawn Michaels for having all of that body hair. And when Shawn Michaels takes off, and they talk about how they're going to go to Fan Fest and they're going to be up all night. And it was just a really weird segment. It was just weird. But during this, the Quebecers' entrance was going off. It was like, wow, what a way to make your champs look like a bunch of chunts by having their entrance not even happen at WrestleMania. And I never really noticed this, but the Quebecers' fucking entrance, it's just the Mounties' entrance, except they say they're not the Mountie. They're the Quebecers. That's fucking awesome. I thought that was great. It's hilarious. We have the match, though. Both teams get into a brawl with each other, and Men on a Mission get the advantage throughout the beginning portions of the matchup. Eventually, the Quebecers take over. They do this cool move where one of the Quebecers goes up to the top turnbuckle, and the other one does like an assistant senton onto him. That was really cool. Men on a Mission did come out and do like a rap. It's very 90s. It's very wave your hands around. If whoop, there it is. All that type of stuff. Very 90s. And eventually, after Mo's been dominated for a while, Mabel gets the hot tag, and he starts beating everybody up. And they hit the tag finisher, which is a whoop, there it is, which is basically like an assisted splash, pretty much, which was cool. But they don't get the win. One of the Quebecers breaks it up ahead of time. So then they hit it, whoop, there it is, onto the floor. And eventually, the champs take a count-out loss. But since they, it's really weird. Men on a Mission celebrated as if they won the belts, but they didn't win the belts. The champs lose the titles by count-out. They should have just had Men on a Mission win the belts. Everyone, I think, really wanted them to win the titles because they were really over at this time, believe it or not. But they didn't go that direction. I gave the match. What did I give the match? I think I liked the match, honestly. I think I gave the match was my 3 stars. I thought it was good. The only thing that keeps it from going any higher or lower is the fact that they did a count out loss. I didn't like that at all. I'm really glad that's one thing that has changed about Mania, where every match basically doesn't end on a count out now. Because I think at WrestleMania, that should just be illegal. You should never win or lose. That should never end by count out or disqualification.
No.
Chris, what did you think of this match?
It was solid. That's all.
That's all. That's all he's got to say.
Yeah.
Steve, what did you think of this tag title?
I also think it was solid. I'm a fan of I do enjoy watching the Quebecers matches back. I've always thought the Rigaud brothers were pretty entertaining. Ray is still with the company as the French commentator, I believe, and he's been the French commentator since like the Attitude Era, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And obviously the Mountie. I don't know too much about his relationship with the company. I haven't heard it's bad, so I can only assume it's fine. Yeah.
Wait, I think you're confusing the tag team, Steve. This is the Quebecers. I think you're thinking of the Rougeau brothers.
Oh, yeah.
The Quebecers are have PCO in it, and then the other guy.
Yeah.
But
obviously PCO's still going. I mean,
PCO is a Frankenstein monster now.
he's
Which is hard to.
I'm gonna say this is probably the only time I can really say it. I actually do believe before he retires, PCO will make one appearance in WWE. I appreciate everything AEW does. I'm sure he'll make a splash there too. But I think at the end of the day, when people think of the big stage, people still think WrestleMania, all that. It could be a Hall of Fame induction he gets. It could be a Rumble appearance. I do think PCO has made enough of a splash and is still making noise that Triple H will see that he is owed like his one due of, okay, you know what, fuck it, let's get this guy in, have him show up, maybe if they do a Rumble in Canada one of these years, could be a good year to do it.
Yeah. James, what did you think of this match? I mean, obviously you didn't like this match because you left.
It was what it was, man. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about the count out finish. The Quebecers were nice. They did good stuff. I saw Mabel and I knew where it was going and I wasn't happy, and also it reminded me of PN News with the white wrap shit, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
So
go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Every time
PN News.
Yeah.
Every time I see freaking Mabel, is in the back of my head. I hear calling all cars. Got control.
Why? Yeah. Calling all cars. What are you talking about?
You know what? It's better I hear that shit in the back of my head than having to imagine that time he, let's just say, had his way with several wrestlers while he was the world's largest love machine.
Yeah. That theme song is
anyhow,
still... That theme song...
Oh, you mean the Vistagra?
Yeah, anal destruction.
But anyhow,
his face! His face!
Can't.
Poor Matt Hardy's never been the same.
What, Steve? You don't like anal destruction?
Go into the career retrospective.
Calling all cars!
It was so bad, even Edge and Lita apologized to Matt for what happened.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Anyway, I will say the Big Daddy V theme, worst theme in wrestling of all time, but so bad it's good. It's so bad.
Yes.
The worst part about it is he squashed the boogeyman. You don't touch the boogeyman.
Yeah.
He squashed the boogeyman into pretty much a part-time appearance, pretty much.
He kind of did.
He did.
And it's
He
funny 'cause
totally did.
I don't know who here follows Boogeyman on Instagram, but the dude is jacked out of his damn mind.
I'm not shocked by that. I'm not shocked by that.
Like you could, like I would say, I'm getting ready for the friggin' police academy right now, and I see his workout videos. I try doing that shit, and it's not easy. The dude is a nut job.
Yeah.
Marty Wright is not
genuinely
human. No.
I am genuinely shocked that every company, WWE, AEW, no one has reached out to him and been like, "Hey, do you want to come train our, up and comers?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That if you watch his videos and look at the shape he's in, that dude does not know what a carb is. He's shredded.
Yeah.
He's absolutely shredded.
Yeah, maybe it's the worm. Maybe it's the worm diet he's on.
But anyhow,
it might be.
Going through the career retrospectives of everybody, we've done Mabel before. I believe you can watch Royal Rumble 08. Mo, pretty much. Actually, following this, Mabel and Mo actually won the tag titles by accident because I believe Mabel did a splash to one of the Quebecers, and the impact was so hard that he didn't kick out. So they ended up having to do another match at the house shows and so they could win the belts back, which was funny. But obviously, Mabel would win King of the Ring.
I love the fact that Mabel is so fat for shoot that he fucking squashed somebody and shoot won a title.
Yeah,
it just fucking squashes one of the fucking Quebecers and won the title. What the fuck?
But then, as for Mo, when Mabel won King of the Ring, he was pretty much relegated to a manager role. And then pretty much he just kind of did that up until he was released. And then he worked the Indies for a bit. And then now he's just kind of chilling. I believe he's not really doing well health-wise. So that's sad. Everyone say your thoughts about him. And then as for the Quebecers, one of them's PCO. I believe they broke up as a tag team, and PCO became like a pirate, I think. I forget the name of the pirate, but he was like a pirate. He had like a really killer match with Bret Hart on one of the Indian houses.
As a pirate, yeah. And then, yeah.
And then
do what you want, because pirate is free. You are a pirate.
I saw that coming. I was waiting when you were going to do that.
Arr, fiddle-dee.
I'm glad you guys got that.
I listened to that. I think I listened to that song like not every day, but
that's my favorite Robbie. My favorite Robbie Rotten moment is not even that though. My favorite one is when the meme where they turn him into communist Russia. What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free?
Side note, rest in peace, Robbie Rotten.
Yeah,
amen.
I can totally see it now. You just dead asleep. Alarm goes off. That song starts playing. Kip up out of the bed like Shawn Michaels. Break out into song.
I am number one. Hey, hold on, real quick, Chris. What do you think of Robbie Rotten?
Cool.
What do you think of him? You think he's cool? Do you have any?
Rotten.
Do you have any idea what we're talking about? By the way.
Why would I not?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, see, he's a part of he only knows because of the memes, but that's good enough for me.
No, actually, I don't, because my sister watched the show.
Oh, did you actually? Oh shit! All right, you're right there with the club.
Yeah,
Lazy Town for life. Look at that. Fucking.
But anyhow,
my sister's favorite show for like 3 years.
Yeah, because Sporticus is the best, and Robbie Rotten was like the best villain for her.
He was.
I want to get in shape. The fuck you will.
But anyhow, continuing with the career retrospectives. So then after PCO was done being a pirate, he got released, and then he went back to WCW. We partnered up with the Quebecers, not as the Quebecers, as something else.
As the amazing French Canadians, and then he went back to the WWF as the Quebecers, not the amazing French Canadians, the Quebecers.
Yep, and then they got released. They had like a retirement tour as like a tag team, and then PCO just did his own thing on the Indies, not as PCO, and then he showed up in ROH as PCO. And now you can't. Now he's a robot. You cannot kill PCO. No matter how many people have tried, you just can't.
No. See, he's Frankenstein. He's not even a robot. He's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Frankensteiner called the Frankensteiner.
But then, as for his partner, I believe his partner's retired now. He had like a big retirement tour, like right before PCO became PCO. So, very, very proud of him. Very, very happy for him. So. All right, going through next, it showed another WrestleMania moment. We had WrestleMania 6, where it showed Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior in the title unification match. Next match was a WWF Championship match. This is the very first time, and I think the only time, where the WWF/E Championship has been defended twice in one night. It was Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji and James E. Cornette defending the WWF title against Lex Luger. We had Wanda Shear as the special guest timekeeper, and Donnie Wahlberg as the special guest rinse announcer, and Mr. Perfect was the special guest referee. So yeah, they basically WrestleMania won to this, where it was loaded with ring announcers and timekeepers and everything like that, which was very nostalgia and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of them was some blonde chick that was on a USA show. She looked nice. And then, but they made her, dude. They made her like so. I don't know. Was she like this in the show she was on, where she was just like super?
I think.
I'm just gonna say the word ditzy.
James, you asked me the question like as if I was born in 1994. How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. But I don't know. It just. I don't know. I feel like it was weird. It was just very weird. She was very enamored. Very enamored with all the muscles.
You asked me a question. You asked me that question too, as if I would watch that show. Why would I watch a fucking show like that? You know that's not my jam.
Yeah, I'm going to get an orange.
You're going.
He's getting an orange.
He's getting an orange.
I don't know why he didn't just. I don't know why he didn't.
Went off a cam.
I don't know why he did that. Yeah.
Hey, I love Steve's setup right here. He's got the shift key and caps lock as his backdrop. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Why is it? It's upside down.
Or it's actually caps cock.
Yeah. Anyhow, going through this match, the history behind it and everything like that. So Lex Luger was meant to be Vince McMahon's Hulk Hogan. He tried to build up Lex Luger as his new Hulk Hogan because the actual Hulk Hogan left the company, as we talked about.
Yeah,
but it didn't work.
No.
It failed miserably.
It so failed. Oh my god, did it fail? I will say,
but,
Luger. It's not even Luger's fault. I think Luger gets a fucking really bad rep because Luger was a great wrestler. I think a lot of people fucking shit on him for not being a good wrestler. He was a great power man wrestler. He might have been the best out of any of the muscleheads that ever laced a pair of boots. He was fucking awesome. This, not so much. And it's not his fault. It's just
because you know why?
Go ahead.
Such a quick transition. It was a quick transition.
Yeah. Because he was the narcissist before, right?
Yeah.
He was
expected to go from Lex Luger, arrogant, egotistical heel, selfish, self-absorbed. So then all of a sudden he's Mr. USA.
He's a patriot.
Yeah. Now you're supposed to like him.
Yeah, but so Yokozuna.
Hey, to be fair, it works for Hogan. Why didn't it work for Lex? To be fair, there's an argument there. I mean,
exactly.
The problem is it was viewed by a lot more people by the time Vince tried that method again.
I'll give him that.
You know, they did try. They did try a lot.
Well, I think this is the issue also. Like you said, it worked for Hogan. Why didn't it work for Lex? Because no one wants the next Hulk Hogan. Like, this is why John Cena was hated for so long. This is why Roman Reigns was hated before he turned heel. Nobody wants to see another version of that superstar. They want to see something new. That's why Stone Cold Steve Austin worked instantly, pretty much.
Yeah.
When he became Stone Cold Steve Austin and everything like that. So, but anyhow, Yokozuna was a dominant-ish world champion. I say that because he had to do with that Hulk Hogan bullshit. But once that kind of was passed, they finally, got back on track with him.
It goes bullshit.
And,
bullshit.
That's the
Yokozuna was hosting. But Yokozuna was hosting a body slam challenge, and he offered to give a title shot to whoever could slam him. This was the debut of Lex Luger as the Lex Express gimmick, and he ended up succeeding. And at SummerSlam, it was made official that it was going to be a one and done. He would only get one title match, and then that was going to be it. And Vince was going to do the Chase storyline with Lex Luger. Now, I think this might or may not be wrong.
He did the Chase storyline, all right. He kept chasing and looked like a doofus.
Yeah, but
right
I'm pretty
at the
sure.
end. Tripped over the finish line 3 times.
That looks like a dumbass.
But,
yeah, basically.
I'm pretty sure this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Lex didn't win the belt at SummerSlam too, because I'm pretty sure most of the roster threatened to walk out if Lex Luger won the belt at SummerSlam.
Which is so ridiculous. Like, because I look at this and I'm like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's not the greatest choice in the world, but fair enough. Now, does that mean they had such cold feet to ever give him the belt ever? Because I'm gonna be real. Lex probably should have won this match and gone on to fight Bret Hart.
Well,
I'm gonna keep it a $150, Chief. Like, because that would have been the better match. That was the match people really wanted to fucking see, actually. I think a lot of people paid for this Mania, especially in the arena, for the possibility to see Lex Luger and Bret Hart square off in the ring. Torch Rack versus Sharpshooter was all you needed to sell that fucking shit. I'm just saying.
Well, let me get to that. So, Lex Luger won that SummerSlam by countout, celebrated as if he won the title when he didn't win the title. But then, they kept doing the chase. Then the Royal Rumble happened, and Lex Luger had significantly cooled off, and Bret Hart was like really over. Everybody wanted him to win. So, ironically enough, Vince did a marketing experiment. He had 2 Royal Rumble winners, and basically whoever got the biggest reaction was getting the belt at Mania. And since Bret Hart got the bigger reaction, he was going to get the belt at Mania. So, pretty much how they did Lex and Bret both won the Rumble. So, President Jack Tunney said that they're both going to face Yokozuna for the title. They're going to do 2 one-on-one matches. They did a coin flip. They did a coin flip on Raw. Whoever won the coin flip was going to get the first shot at the belt. Lex Luger won the coin flip. I assume the coin was double-sided because I think they wanted Lex to get the title shot first. Is how it probably worked. So that led us to this match. Match itself was pretty good. Lex Luger started really going off on Yokozuna in the beginning portions of this matchup. He actually was, taking Yokozuna to school a little bit. Yokozuna went for a splash. Lex Luger moved out of the way, and he ended up hitting a really cool clothesline onto him. He went for a body slam, but because of, of the weight of Yokozuna, he ended up collapsing, and Yokozuna dominated. Yokozuna dominated Lex Luger for a while. He got him into this nerve hold, and he just had this nerve hold on him for a really long time. Eventually, Lex Luger mounted a comeback. He had a really cool high cross body onto Yokozuna in the ring. That was really cool. And eventually, the turnbuckle gets exposed, and Yokozuna goes into the buckle, and Lex Luger hits 3 of his running clotheslines. And James E. Cornette and Mr. Fuji get up on the apron. Lex Luger pulls him in, knocks him down. He goes for the cover, and Mr. Perfect stalling. He's trying to get, Cornette out of the ring. He's trying to get Fuji out of the ring. And Lex Luger takes offense to this, that he's delaying the count. And they make it known that Lex Luger could have won this match. So eventually he shoves Mr. Perfect, and he goes for the cover, and Mr. Perfect's just like, you know what? Disqualification. It's done. It's over.
Just what
and
a
then-
fucking waste of time. Waste of time.
And Lex Luger won the match by disqualification, but again, since you can't, the title can't change via DQ.
At least he was fucking angry about it this time and not fucking celebrating afterwards. I mean, shit.
We can say what we want.
You should have celebrated like you fucking won the title again.
Oh yeah, I didn't lose to him officially.
I do gotta say with as bad as this DQ is, you have to say I do like the way that Mr. Perfect's acting towards this when he sees that he's been hit and realizing he can just call for a DQ is fucking great. The way Mr. Perfect.
Oh my god, Mr. Perfect. Yeah, Mr. Perfect is OG, man.
Yeah,
That was so stupid.
Yeah,
I gave this match.
No, hold on. Let Steve Red. Let him go off. Let him go off. He's got the police vest on. He's ready to go off.
The match, it was going in the direction of like a solid 3 or 4 star match, and the ending does hurt it that much that I'm giving it 1 star.
Yeah,
1 star to 5 because of how much idiocracy went into the build of Luger versus Yoko. Because Luger could have been champion by this point. I honestly, I think the issue was, maybe I was like Vince. Obviously, he's made mistakes where he goes all in on people, but I think with Luger, he demonstrated I'd rather him go all in on someone than go in, back out on friggin' Luger, because it's just screwing everybody over. It's wasting everybody's time. Like,
yep.
And much to what James was saying, Luger should have won this match, or
because you're giving the belt to Hart anyway. So why not just have Luger win the match?
I mean, I'll even one up it is, have Luger win through a little bit of maybe shenanigans where Perfect does a fast count, or Fuji pulls was it Fuji or Cornette with Yoko at this time?
Both.
Yeah.
One of them, puts Yoko's foot under the rope, so Luger beats him fair and square, but they cheated and the ref didn't see it. So right after the match, he's like, "Okay, well, you know what? We're invoking the rematch clause tonight. So in the main event, Britt has to win a triple threat match." Yeah, he could have done something creative.
That could have been cool. That actually could have been cool. Yeah.
So now Luger, even though he rightfully won, has to deal with 2 people. Yoko's inserted himself into the match, through heel tactics, and now Brett has to overcome both of his big rivals after just kind of getting embarrassed in front of everybody by Owen. So,
yeah,
you go into the main event like that. There are a lot of options on the table, and they pretty much picked the worst one.
Yeah, I agree.
Boy, did they!
Plain and simple version of it.
But Chris, what did you think of this match and everything?
I thought that match was good. The finish absolutely sucked. These stop-start pushes with Luger really hurt him in the end. If they had just gone full blast, full go, I think they would have been fine. I think he would have had a really good run. I'd much rather would have seen Brett versus Luger over the match that we eventually got, which was Brett versus Yoko. And that's not an indictment on Yoko. I love Big Yoke, but like
Big Yoke.
I'd much rather have Brett versus Luger.
What, he get fucking cracked? He got cracked like an egg and he became a yolk? What the fuck?
Yeah,
exactly. Kind of a twist of irony, though, that I want to point out is if you watch Yokozuna's special they did, WWE Legends.
Yeah.
Kind of in a twist of irony is the fact that he got screwed out of being the top champion of his Samoan family. So they kind of make up for it years later with Roman.
Yeah.
Which is why I think his family is so protective of him. And they admittedly kind of backstage politic a little bit. I don't know that Roman does, but it's kind of been reported that Ata and Sika, like WrestleMania 31, when they found out he wasn't walking out, they showed up and they're like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah. But anyhow,
yeah.
All that.
Yeah, give it my thought. James, give your thoughts on the match.
I mean, you know what? I did give my thoughts on the match, but we brought up the SummerSlam thing where they should have gone full tilt with Luger. Even if it was going to get a bad reaction, it would have been better for them to do that than to fucking do what they did. Seriously. It wasn't going to improve the company, but it certainly wasn't going to hurt the company any worse than it was going to be hurt anyway. Just give the belt to Luger so that way Hart can get the belt off him.
And I want to add to that point, actually, is this is 1994. WCW is not hurting WWF at the time.
No, it's not.
In the slightest.
WCW is not really doing much.
Well,
WCW really only became good when Hogan jumped. It didn't become a real threat until Nitro. And that's fine. We'll get to that at some point.
Now,
in the future video.
And one last thing I want to add. For anybody that ever says, well, wrestling was so much different back in the day because none of these wrestlers were piss babies like they are on social media today. If Twitter was fucking around during that fucking time, guaranteed they would have bitched about Luger winning the title and fucking made it look like it was a bad decision from a company. So don't fucking give me that bullshit when you have an entire roster of people threatening to walk out if Lex Luger won the fucking title. Cut me a fucking break and go the fuck home. No, you're wrong. You're just wrong. If Twitter was around back then, they would have fucking been piss babies. Chill.
So what happens if they're already...
The people have been bitching since the Bible. Read the Bible. There are plenty of stories of people complaining in there.
Exactly.
By the way, James, he said...
And I have it on good authority from a few friends of my father that actually kind of did what would be considered the dirt sheets back in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
People didn't have Twitter. They had monthly magazines.
Exactly. So
anyhow,
I'm not going to rant on that. I'm just going to leave that as just a fact. That's what people went to.
Yep. Anyway, you were asking me a question, Owen.
So you asked why they didn't just give the belt to Luger at Mania. Well, this story isn't necessarily confirmed, but this is a possibility of why it happened. So he was supposed to win this match, actually. However, while they were going over the match while out in a restaurant and stuff, apparently a local magazine reporter caught wind of it, and they published the article and stuff like that. So they basically changed the finish and had Yokozuna retain the title
Who
instead.
gives a fuck? Brett was going to win anyway. The surprise was Brett, not Luger or Yoko. It was Brett. Who gives a shit? Just give him the belts. Who gives a fuck if they spoil it? Who cares? Oh, that chaps my ass. That chaps my ass to no end, bro. Oh my god, please move on.
I will.
All right. On that note, I'm actually about to leave.
Fair enough.
I will say I've enjoyed coming on the show for today and raising a little hell like I always do.
Oh boy, did
you raised some hell, yeah.
Boy, did you.
I say all I will say, outside of what we've already gone over, is just a quick note about the main event. Similar to this match, the ending hurts it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You're gonna get to it, and I'm sure everyone's gonna say it. How did Brett win? What was Brett's crowning moment? Yoko fell on his fat ass.
Yoko go boom boom.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, though. We'll talk.
Go boom boom.
Fell over.
He fell.
I mean, I know wrestling has never really been kind to people of a bigger size, but holy shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He fell. I mean,
he
commentary,
toppled.
God bless them. God bless the commentary team. Oh, well, I guess if you fall really hard and hit your head, that can knock you out. They tried. They really tried. They poured their heart.
I'm ready to go.
They poured their heart into that sucks. That ending was terrible. I mean,
but we'll talk about it.
Oh, trust me. I got you, Steve. I got
the ending of Owen Hart coming out and basically being like, well, if he's the champion and I beat him, kind of giving that implication of, well, you see where this is going. He's going to feel like he's champion. Yeah. So there is that crowning moment, but 2 stars for the main event. As a whole, I give WrestleMania 10 I'm going to go thumbs in the middle. 2.5.
Wait.
Give a letter grade.
One within the ladder match. The ladder match. Because that's...
Oh God, I completely forgot that.
Which is fucked because the rest of the show was that bad that you blank on everything else. But that was great.
I probably forgot it. That's probably why I forgot it, is because the rest of the show was really ranged from mediocre to okay, with the exception of the opener and the ladder match. I mean, yeah, I totally forgot that too. Yeah, the ladder match was great.
5 stars.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll get to it. But there you go.
Ladder match, I'm going to give it a 4-star. That's the standard for years to come. And on that note, Steve Steiner is out.
Bye, brother.
See you later.
Oh, boy.
Now you're going to move Chris again.
I moved him way before Steve left. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to ruin the immersion because I can't be fucking asked to do this after he leaves.
Yeah.
There we go.
By the way, you see when someone says, "I'm glad I came on and raised," he actually did raise fucking hell.
Oh my god!
He did the whole thing like all.
Dude, how many times?
That was no joke.
That was no joke. He did. It was fun though. I enjoyed. It was funny.
But anyhow, again, I like the WWF title match. I give it 3 stars. I thought the finish was freaking bad though. Like they didn't know. But anyhow, afterwards, Mr. Perfect got interviewed, and he talked about why he did what he did, and he mentioned that first that Lex Luger brought in 2 managers in the ring when you're not allowed to do that, and he also put his hands on the referee. So this led to not necessarily a pull apart brawl, but it had to be broken. But they had to be separated backstage. This was supposed to lead to a feud, but unfortunately, Mr. Perfect ended up injuring his foot during a house show.
Lloyd's of London happened because of a foot injury.
Yeah, and then I think Mr. Perfect left the company or something before they actually properly did the feud. So
there you go. So did Luger.
Career retrospective.
So did Luger.
Yeah, he did. Going through career retrospectives, we'll do Yokozuna and everybody else that's there later in the night since they show up later. I think we've done one on Lex Luger at Halloween Havoc '97. I'm pretty sure we did.
So we don't have to do it again.
As for Wanda Shia, her TV show, I don't think...
No.
Her TV show didn't...
I'm ixnaying that. I'm producing, and I gotta fucking go to record matches. We're ixnaying it. Who cares? Rhonda Shear is a blonde, and she was on a TV show once. Move on.
Donnie Wahlberg, you can look up later. And then we had showed another WrestleMania moment, WrestleMania 7. I'm pretty sure it showed... I don't even remember what it showed. Oh, it showed The Undertaker's entrance, I believe. So, there you go.
Yeah, WrestleMania... was the first time he showed up at WrestleMania to fight Jake, I think, yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, that was WrestleMania 8 they showed Taker.
There you go.
I think WrestleMania 7 was... They showed something with Piper. I don't remember what it was, though.
Who knows? Yeah, they're all over the place with this show, I'll be honest. Anyway, move on.
And then... Harvey Rippleman's in the win. He's cutting a promo on Howard Finkel, just roasted him. And Howard Finkel knocks him down. He gets attacked from behind by Adam Bomb. And then Earthquake makes the save. And he attacks Adam Bomb from behind. It leads to a match. It was supposed to be a little bit Borgo in this match, but he had an injury, so they replaced him with Adam Bomb. And Earthquake destroyed him. He hits a belly-to-back suplex, and followed by the Earthquake for the win. And I give the match 3. I thought it was whatever. Nice squash. And it was a good placeholder between that and the ladder match. So what'd you think?
I thought the match was shit.
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
It was basically for Earthquake to fucking sit on someone's chest and win.
All right.
And it's better to sit on his chest than to shit on his chest. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would have been better for it the other way, but yeah.
At least, fair enough. It could have been more entertaining.
If he just did fucking Typhoon or whatever the fuck it's called, he just shits on him.
And then as for career retrospectives, we've done Earthquake before at SummerSlam '92. Harvey Whippleman would continue to manage Adam Bomb, but eventually turn on him. And then eventually he managed, I think, Crush. And then he managed Bertha Faye when she came in. And then after he was done managing, he mainly worked behind the scenes. He won the women's championship really randomly one time, and then just dropped it really quite fast. It was
Hervina.
Yeah. And then he did some other things behind the scenes, and he was a referee at one point, and now he's retired pretty much. So as for Adam Bomb, we kind of already mentioned Adam Bomb. The less said about him now, the better, I guess. Then we had Yokozuna, Mr. Fuji, and James E. Cornette get interviewed. James E. Cornette talks about retaining the WWF title and about what happened when the first WWF title match between Yokozuna and Lex Luger, and how Lex Luger agreed to have Mr. Perfect as a referee, so he only has himself to blame. And James E. Cornette cuts a really good promo on
they made Lex Luger look like such an idiot with that one comment, by the way. What the fuck was this? I have to point that out.
Yeah.
Like, why in the fuck are you going to say that? Because that means Luger agreed to this, which means he's the one to blame for fucking him pushing Hennig and him disqualifying him. He caused all this shit. For the word from signing on the dotted line.
But then James E. Cornette then cuts this really good promo on Bret Hart talking about how his mental state's not going to be all there, and he talks about how he's going to go after how Yokozuna's going to go after his leg. It was really good. And then it shows another WrestleMania moment, WrestleMania 8, when The Undertaker made his first entrance at well, not his first, but the match with Jake at WrestleMania and stuff. Then we have an excellent match on the show. It was the ladder match for the undisputed WWF Intercontinental Championship. Razor Ramon defended against Shawn Michaels with Diesel inside. Yeah, a really good storyline in this match. Shawn Michaels, before WrestleMania 10, was the Intercontinental Champion. However, he wasn't really filling up to his obligations as Intercontinental Champion. He wasn't defending the title all that much. So President Jack Tunney stripped him of the belts. I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels had a real-life thing he had to go away for. I don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure I was going to say he hurt his knee, but I'm pretty sure that's a different case because there was a lot of times that happened with Shawn Michaels, but I'm pretty sure basically that's the kayfabe reason why he was gone. And they had a battle royal to crown the new champion. Razor Ramon won the battle royal. However, Shawn Michaels returned and claimed that he was still the Intercontinental Champion since nobody beat him for the belt. So it led to this ladder match. And Shawn Michaels laid out Razor Ramon on like the wall before this, where he hit two razor edges onto the stage. So yeah, we had this ladder match right here. Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon both have really cool entrances. I think for the Madison Square Garden like venue, the entrance looked really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I agreed.
Now, James, we recently just watched Wrestle Talk do a video where they had to mention stuff about WrestleMania. In like 3 words, and sometimes they mention things that happen at Mania. And they mentioned the ladder match, and they mentioned that this match doesn't hold up today. I completely disagree. I think this match fully holds up.
I firmly disagree with that. Like, they did a great job, especially for the time. I think it's one of those times when you put the time into account and you put in what they fucking did in this match, this is a 5-star match all day.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about...
That's it.
But let's start talking about it. I didn't even mention this is like the first ladder match that WWF ever did on TV because they did do one at a house show between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. You can find that match if you have the ladder match DVD, and I think it's on the Peacock/Network and like the old school like Hidden Gems thing. You can find that ladder match. So, but this is the first time they ever did it at WrestleMania on like a big stage. A ladder match.
Yeah.
Obviously, a ladder match wasn't a completely new concept. Canadian Stampede Wrestling did ladder matches and things like that, but we haven't seen a ladder match really like this before, though. The match starts. They both start chain wrestling each other. Razor Ramon hits a cool fall away slam on Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels follows it up with a swinging neck breaker. And then Michaels clotheslines Razor Ramon to the outside. And then Diesel hits a clothesline onto Razor Ramon. And the ref notices this it's not a DQ because there's no DQs in a ladder match, but he ejects Diesel because he wants this to be a fair match. I thought that made sense. And then Shawn Michaels is upset about this, and it leads to a one-on-one match. Razor goes after Shawn Michaels. He attacks him on the outside. He exposes the floor, and he goes for a Razor's Edge onto the outside, but Shawn Michaels counters it to a back suplex, and he lands onto the exposed floor back first. I'm surprised Razor Ramon's back didn't give out then.
Right.
If Shawn Michaels took that bump, he probably would have retired sooner than he did it the first time anyways. But then Shawn Michaels dominates the match. He grabs a ladder. He attacks Razor Ramon with it. He hits a drop kick while Razor Ramon's holding the ladder. He drives it into his ribs while he's on the ground. And obviously, this is a classic moment that you see nowadays at WrestleMania. It's played, I think, in the intro packages and everything. That big splash that Shawn Michaels does off the top, off of the ladder, is obviously an iconic moment that gets played over and over again, which is just it really does. That really does hold up.
It does, yeah.
Shawn Michaels tries to go for the title, and Razor Ramon grabs him, and he pulls his pants down, and we just see Shawn Michaels' bare ass on camera, just in perfect view. It happened a lot to Shawn Michaels back then.
Yeah.
So Shawn Michaels is able to
mooning the crowd.
Shawn Michaels is able to fight him off. He hits an elbow drop, and his pants are still down. Like, he has to pull his pants up right after he hits the elbow
drop. Ass out, everything, and hits this elbow drop.
It's the Aspo drop.
It's the Aspo drop. It's the Assy Bow.
And then Shawn Michaels hits a drop kick while Razor Ramon's holding the ladder on the outside. Razor Ramon takes back control. He mounts a comeback. He grabs the ladder, hits Shawn Michaels, and he goes up over the top rope. And then he grabs the ladder. And while Shawn Michaels is like leaning up against the post, he drives the ladder into Shawn Michaels while he's against the post. That was a brutal bump.
Yeah.
And then he hits him across the back, and he goes into the post again. And then Razor Ramon hits a suplex, sending Shawn Michaels into the ladder. So at one point, the ladder legitimately breaks. Like, it doesn't completely break, but it's not as sturdy, because there's at one point where they both fall off, and the ladder just isn't as sturdy anymore. After
It's almost broke.
Yeah, it was like fucking warped, and that's when Vince said, next time we do one of these, we're getting more than one ladder or getting a reinforced one. Yeah. Which he would do going on for the next, 50 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead, Chris.
They only have one fucking ladder, and if that ladder broke, what the fuck do you do?
I know.
Use it as stilts like Kofi Kingston.
Well, speaking of that, Shawn Michaels kind of does that. So Shawn Michaels, I don't know if stilts were thin back then. I'm not sure, honestly. But Shawn Michaels climbs up the second turnbuckle while he's holding the ladder, and he uses it like stilts, and he jumps off the second turnbuckle with the ladder in hand and lands right onto Razor Ramon, which was just a really good bump right there.
That was really cool.
Shawn Michaels hits a thrust kick onto Razor Ramon, and he climbs the ladder. Razor Ramon tips the ladder over, and Shawn Michaels gets crotched onto the turnbuckle. And because this ladder was broken, they really had to salvage this. Shawn Michaels had to kind of help Razor Ramon set the ladder up a little bit, but I thought they covered up because it looked like Shawn was trying to prevent him from getting the ladder and stuff.
Yeah.
And Razor Ramon climbs up, he grabs the belts, and he retains the Intercontinental Championship. It was a great match here. I give it 4 3/4 stars. However, I give it an extra star because of the significance of this match. Because if this match failed, the ladder match, as we know, it does not happen.
I agree.
But all the TLCs, they don't happen.
They never happen, and we don't get the other 5-star ladder matches over the years. So yeah, I agree. This is 5 all day. The historical significance of it is huge, and this really easily could have been a fucking disaster. And the fact that it wasn't is crazy. And you know what? I'll even go as far as to say this is the one time where Shawn Michaels absolutely disobeying was fucking warranted, because if this was cut in any sense for time, this would have been fucking tragic. This would have been awful.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is the one time I fucking agree with it, because if he didn't do that, it was honestly a greater good sacrifice there. Like, nobody needs to see a random 8-man tag at Mania that year. Nobody needed it.
10-man. It was actually 10.
I'm sorry, a 10-man tag. Thank you.
What 1847, which was the perfect amount of time that it needed.
Exactly.
Yeah. But one other thing I'll say about it, the fact, well, Chris, before I say it, what did you think of this match and the style rated and everything like that?
I'm on the same page with you guys. This is 5 stars. This is the first live televised ladder match in WWF history. And it's still, to this day, 29 years later, in the top 3 for me as far as ladder matches go in the history of the WWE.
Yeah.
I'd say wrestling, period.
If you go back and watch this, it holds up. The action is fantastic. And the fact that they only had one ladder to do it is outstanding, because at one point the ladder does get warped, and we were lucky we got a finish there. But the match is just fantastic, and it sets up their second match, which is even better.
I agree. That one,
if not better.
If there was any point to break the scale, that's probably 5.5. Like, that shit was ridiculous.
It's a great match. I gave it 5 stars. Really just a classic.
Yeah, the fact that like Wrestle Talk said it doesn't hold up, I completely disagree.
That's
this
a
match
fucking
easily holds up.
That's such a lot.
Yeah.
Talking heads saying shit. What a surprise.
I mean, and I don't even dislike Wrestle Talk mostly. Like, I enjoy some of the takes, but like that was a bad take. Come on now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So as for I believe we've done a career. Have we ever done a career retrospective on Diesel? Have we? I don't know. Yes, we have, because it's SummerSlam.
SummerSlam
03.
Yeah, SummerSlam 03. Yeah, we definitely did.
What about Razor Ramon? Have we done a career
Scott,
retrospective?
Yeah, we've done Scott too.
Even if we haven't done Scott, I could do it on Mania 18. We don't need to do it now.
So the next,
you did what you want on Kevin. You could have done it on Mania 18 also too.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So the next, we have Team Jarrett backstage. They're arguing about who the team captain is, and they can't really agree, so this causes the 10-man tag to be called off. Again, you could say, well, why would they call it off? Well, they had to call it audible because Shawn and Razor went on, and they had to call off the match because they didn't have time to fit it in. I think it's funny because there's reports backstage that Razor Ramon flipped out at Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for going long, for taking up a spot, for taking up, all these guys' spots at like Mania and all that type of stuff. But to be honest, I feel like it was fully, like as James, you talked about, it was fully warranted to take up. Yeah, it sucks guys didn't get like a Mania match, but it's like,
dude, if this was,
who even was supposed to be in the 10-man tag?
Yeah, I don't even know. Whatever.
Let me just give me a second.
You double check that, but like, okay, I understand Savage being pissed, but you put it in his shoes. If his match with Ricky Steamboat was a ladder match, and he was cut on fucking time, I remember the exact fucking time that it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be as long as the fucking count out, the Falls Count Anywhere match with fucking Savage and Crush was. Which means, if that was the case,
9:49.
They wouldn't have even done a single fucking spot that they did in this match. Not one. Which means the ladder match would have flopped a death. Which means nobody could have had fucking good, even better ladder matches in the coming years. Or even attempt to try.
We had 4 minutes of magic.
Yeah.
But because the thing I left out too is the referees kept telling Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon to go home, but they kept ignoring them because they had magic on their hands, so they wanted to keep going.
Exactly that.
They knew it then in 1994.
Yeah, they fucking knew then. So, color me a little bit old fucking, you could say whatever the fuck you want, saying, oh, this is a fucking war. You can't warrant this. This is bad. No, suck my dick. It needed to fucking happen. Oh well, 10 people lost a fucking payday. Jarrett didn't need another payday. All right, cry me a fucking river.
All right, so here's the people that was supposed to be in that 10-man tag. So the heel team was Owen Schweister, the Head Shrinkers, Rick Martel, and Jeff Jarrett. The face team was the 1-2-3 Kid, Sparky Plug, Tatanka, and the Smoking Guns.
That's awful.
That's so bad. It's Survivor Series. Why are you doing Survivor Series at Mania?
They did. Sense.
I guess because it's a 10-man tag. It's a 10-man tag at WrestleMania 10, you see. That's probably what the fuck that logic was. Anyway, you were saying...
they could have replaced the Earthquake Atom Bomb match with that.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Exactly!
But it says...
But it says here... 35-second squash match at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Well, why is that... Yeah, exactly. Why is that on Shawn and Razor?
It's not even like it's the first WrestleMania with SD Jones. Like, okay... But, like, it's WrestleMania fucking 10. Like, why is there a 35-second fucking squash match on here? There's no need.
There's
something else you could have cut. You could have cut the Bill Clinton interviews.
You also... The Bill Clinton interview could... the Bam Bam and Doink mixed tag...
Should have fucking... cut down 3 minutes. A huge amount of fucking time. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Bret Owen match deserved 20 minutes, 21 seconds. Yep. That ladder match could have gone 20, but at 18:47. Those are perfect times.
Yeah. But here's what it says on Wikipedia. So it says Bob Holly, Sparkplug, stated in his 2000... Yep. He stated in his 2013 autobiography, The Hardcore Truth, that the timekeeper backstage repeatedly told the referee over his earpiece to end the ladder match, but Michaels and Razor ignored him and kept wrestling until officials were forced to cancel the tag team match. That's basically what it says happened.
Good.
So
good.
Good.
I don't disagree with that decision there. I really don't. Like it's not Shawn's fault and it's not Razor's fault that Vince couldn't, let me fucking say this as loud as possible, manage his fucking time, which he has had a problem with for the last fucking 20 years! Not his fucking fault! Exactly. Cry me a river! Cry me a river! Fuck you, Bob Holly! You are nothing but a fucking asshole to every rookie you fucking came across. And also, furthermore, you were a fucking NASCAR driver when you fucking showed up. So why the fuck would anybody want to see you at WrestleMania? Why are you fucking all pissy?
Good question.
You weren't even on the card, dickhead. Fuck off.
He was supposed
to be in that tag match. All right,
we
great.
We really need Savage and Crush to go 9 minutes and 49 seconds.
Exactly. It's not fucking Vince's. It's not even fucking. It's not Razor and Shawn's fault. It's not.
And by the way, most of that match was selling. There was no moves done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was maybe 2 minutes of actual action.
And you know what? The sales mattered there. So I'm not mad that they spent most of the time selling, because they were selling the dangers of, let me fucking think here, a fucking ladder match!
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't get what they're so upset about, but...
Boo fucking who? God damn.
They did do the tag... They did end up doing the 10-man tag match on Raw, and I think the heel team just won anyway, so whatever.
Exactly. Just get rid of fucking segments you could have done this match early on in the card. That's it.
Next, Bill Clinton got interviewed again, and he talks some more about how happy he is to be at WrestleMania. And then the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is in the crowd. He basically tries to bribe Bill Clinton into saying that they could work together or something. But Bill Clinton says he's just there as a fan and he doesn't want to focus on politics tonight. So there's that.
Wow. Just even when they're pretending he's the president and trying to make him a big deal, they still fucking buries politics, doesn't he? Vince never liked politics, did he? It was just fucking ironic considering wrestling was full of it.
I know. And then we had the main event. Well, no, first it showed the last WrestleMania moment. It showed WrestleMania 9, and WrestleMania 9 is such a shit show.
Oh,
they had fucking nothing to show.
Hold on, let's fucking talk about this too. Why are you showing Coliseum video eating up fucking time? How is that Sean and Razor's fault again?
That's true.
How's that Sean and Razor's fault again? Don't be mad at fucking
Coliseum video.
Don't be fucking mad at Shawn Michaels and Razor fucking Ramon for going fucking long when they should have been allotted that fucking time any goddamn ways. Be mad at the fucking idiot that's showing fucking highlight packages of past WrestleManias, eating up a total of fucking 8 minutes of goddamn airtime total. How's that fucking Shawn and Razor's fault?
That 8 minutes could have gone to that tag match.
Oh my god, these fucking, like, this is why I said, and this is why I have said for years, why do you blame the wrestler in question? Why do you not go to the head of the fucking company in charge and fucking give him the shit he deserves? It chapped my ass for years to no fucking end. It still chaps my ass now. Why are you gonna blame Shawn and Razor? Why are you gonna blame Cena? Why are you gonna blame Roman? I could go on and on and on. Who ran the company? Anybody want to fucking tell me? Who ran the company at the time? Thank you, Chris. Who ran the company at that time?
Vince.
Be mad at the right people and stop fucking attacking each other, you stupid, idiotic marks. Rant over.
Now, to be fair to them, they couldn't go right to Vince because he was doing commentary that night. So,
just the fuck they couldn't have. Jesus Christ.
But anyhow, let's get to the main event. Not the show, Chris. So you can stay here.
Leaving.
So it was
now.
Let's talk about this shitty ass finish. Holy fuck!
Well, first it's the WWF Championship match. It's Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji and James E. Cornette ringside. He's defending the belt against Bret the Hitman Hart. We have Jenny Garrett as the special guest timekeeper, Burt Reynolds as the special guest ring announcer.
Oh, the worst ring announcer I've ever heard, by the way. Burt Reynolds couldn't have given a less of a fuck being there. Holy shit.
I don't think he wanted to be there because he just broke his hand, I think, like that week or something, because he had a cast on and everything on this show. I think they said he was mugged or something because Vince made a comment about that, but I don't know if that was just Vince.
I actually feel bad for him then. Fuck. Oh, poor guy.
So, yeah. But anyhow, we don't need to do a behind the scenes. The only thing new we could say is this is a year after Yokozuna beat Bret Hart to dethrone him of the WWF title. So he was coming back to get this match. It's kind of funny how this happens because if you play this match, as you know, James, in 2K14, they act like this was the only match that they were building to. Like if you watch the video package, they act like it was all.
Yeah.
It's like.
I'm an expert. If anybody's an expert on 2K14, it's me. They just nothing about the other fucking match. Nothing. Not a single thing.
Yeah. But going through the match, the thing I loved about this match is how, like, out of it, like, Bret Hart looked. Like, he just mentally wasn't there. He was physically wasn't there. I thought Bret did a great job selling that.
Selling is key in this one.
Yeah. Yokozuna attacks Bret Hart before the match even starts. He destroys him throughout the beginning portion of this match. Take out his leg.
Kicked
his leg out of his leg. On him, which was cool. Yes. Roddy Piper has to continuously tell Yokozuna to back off, and he's just mouthing off at Yokozuna, which was very brave by Roddy Piper. I was very, very proud of his courage. Eventually, at one point, Bret Hart has the match won, but James E. Cornette pulls the referee out of the ring, and Roddy Piper decks Cornette, which I think made James happy. Even though Cornette, I guess, wasn't a full-on dick back then, but probably still made him happy.
It still made me happy. Of course it did.
I don't know if maybe it made Chris happy too, though. So who knows?
Did it make you happy?
Maybe it made James erect too.
Nah, not erect. Nah, I don't get erect for I don't get erect for dudes who fucking threaten people for having a style of wrestling they like. Anyway, sorry.
Bret Hart mounts a comeback. He hits a bulldog from the the middle turnbuckle. He continuously targets the head of Yokozuna because obviously he had been knocked out earlier in the show, so that made sense. It was really weird how they structured this match though, because this was all about Bret Hart about what his condition is like, I'm like, wait, Yokozuna wrestled too, guys. Like, it's not like Yokozuna was coming into this match fresh. He had a fucking
fresh, baby.
He's fresh. He's fresh. He's a big boy, so that means he's fresh. He's able to go in there and have another match. Except for towards the end, where he wasn't fresh. And yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But
so,
yeah, it made no sense. It's the psychology.
Bret Hart goes for like some type of axe handle smash or something off the second turnbuckle, but he gets caught into a bonsai, like belly to belly, and then he goes for the bonsai drop. And as Steve said earlier, he fell on his ass.
Oh, fucking Christ. Right. Let's just.
The commentators try.
Not even. There wasn't even slick ropes either. He literally went up for the bonsai. He was bouncing on the fucking ropes. And then he lost his fucking hand grip on the turnbuckle. And then he goes, whoa, 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 and then boom goes to Dynamite. Fucking Yoko go boom boom.
Yeah.
Hurt pins him and wins.
That was a bad
finish. Holy shit.
I will say the match itself before that was pretty good, though. I like the story they were telling, but that finish really ruined it. I'm going to give it like a 2-star match.
I agree. It's the worst Bret Hart match of all time.
No, that's not the worst.
The other one would have been with Yoko. So, they're both bad.
No, don't forget WrestleMania 26. You'll see that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I saw that match. Yes.
That's a match.
Yes, but I'm not. I can't even count it because the fucking dude couldn't even take a bump, so I'm just gonna write it off. As far as active Bret Hart, who could still wrestle, this is the worst match he's ever had.
Like, ever. But anyhow, Chris, what did you think of this match, of this finish? Did you love this match, or did you absolutely hate this match with a burning passion and just want it to die?
Who knows? It could have been the greatest match of all time. Could have been one of the top matches in the history of professional wrestling, sports entertainment. Death match wrestling, who knows? But yeah, this match sucked in every which way. It was probably one of the worst Bret Hart matches of all time.
Yep.
Okay.
That's not like, and no one says that very often because usually Bret's matches are classics that he puts out there because he really honed his craft and was a great technician in the ring and took great pride in his work. And I don't think he was happy with this match just because of the fact that he's with a fucking 600-pound wrestler who, as much as I love Yoko, didn't really take care of himself all that well.
No. Yeah. But even
he'd be alive to this day if that was the case.
Yeah, but even then, even with that being said, though, Chris, you could clearly tell they didn't have a say in the finish. This is a Vince call. There's no way. There is no way Yoko came up with, I go falling, go boom boom, and you pin me. Like, there's no way. There's no chance.
There isn't. That was a Vince call, definitely. Just for the, oh my god, look at this big dude, missed his finisher.
Laugh at the fat man. Laugh at the fat man falling. Like, that's what the fucking
But yeah, this match was not good. It was easily one of Yoko's worst, and it was easily one of Bret's worst. I mean, they have this in-ring chemistry that's there, and if they had they could have put on a good match if they truly wanted to go that way. But yeah, this match it was not good.
I don't understand why they didn't just go with Lex. I really don't.
And a mobile big dude instead of someone who could have actually
fucking worked with Bret. Yeah, like he could have fucking given him some meat on the bone here. That's why I always say just give it to Luger.
Just didn't make any sense.
But anyhow, before I didn't really mind the match too much. I liked the story of the match where like it was Bret Hart like at like his lowest point trying to win a championship. It's just the finish really just sucks.
I just go with one star, honestly. I was not a fan. This is very sluggish.
But anyhow, afterwards all the talent comes out.
All the babyface talent. specifically.
Yeah, all the babyface talent come out and stuff like with Bret Hart, but Owen Hart comes out, and I love what Owen Hart does here because he said it should have been about me because even though he finally proved that he was better than his brother, it was still all about Bret Hart at the end of the show, and I love that part of the storytelling beat right there. Like, it was really good storytelling right there.
Really good, yeah.
Which set up their cage match at SummerSlam 1994 and stuff like that, and set up the submission match between Bob Backlund and Bret Hart, where Bob Backlund won the belt because of Owen Hart. So it was just really, really good storytelling beats right here. But yeah, let's going through our career retrospective. We're not going to do everybody else that was out there, but as for Yokozuna, this would be like his last match in the main event, pretty much. He would have a match with The Undertaker at Survivor Series when Undertaker came back in the casket match, and then that was his last time he was in the main event.
Oh yeah, the one where Undertaker ascended.
No, that's a that was that.
No, I swear that was the same match. No, that was the same match, wasn't it? It involved Yoko, right?
There's two casket match. There was two casket matches that they had. They had one at the Royal Rumble '94 and one at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah, it's the one at the Royal Rumble.
But then anyhow, Yokozuna would team up with Owen Hart. They'd be a pretty good tag team together. And then eventually Yokozuna took time off to, I think he was supposed to lose weight, but it failed miserably. I think he gained weight.
Bro, he came back and he was like a pufferfish.
Yeah, and then he had he had a few more matches in the WWF, but then he was released because the WWF didn't want to have it viable. Didn't want the blames put on them about the fact that his weight loss was because of them. They didn't want to be associated with that because they knew that he was on death's door anyways. So they basically released him just to say, hey, it wasn't our fault that he died because the Brian Pillman situation that just happened.
And to be fair, it really wasn't their fault. It really wasn't.
No, but I'm just telling you what I gathered from the Wii shows. That's why they released him. They didn't want to put on blame.
Fair. Yeah, don't encourage the bullshit, yeah.
And then
they put him in that weight loss facility, and then he was having people come in and bring him KFC.
Yeah.
Even though they fucking
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's legit.
Wow.
He went into the program, and then he'd do good for like 2 weeks, and then he would have people bring him food.
Yeah.
And then
how many enablers did he have fucking engorging this fucker? Like, what the hell?
And then he would go back on track again, and then fall off again. And then WWE had some people come in and watch him, and he would have people sneak around getting him food and shit. It was sad.
Yeah, but then anyhow, Yokozuna, after he was released, had a tour of the Indies for a bit. Most famously at Heroes of Wrestling.
Where he
and then
he was the heaviest he'd ever been. He could barely fucking walk, and he was in a tag match where Jake Roberts was also not at his best. And it was actually he was supposed to be the main event of the show, but they turned it into a tag match because Jake was so fucking inebriated.
Was that a Cock Snake?
Wait, what was it?
That Cock Snake?
Yeah, that's Cock Snake.
And then I think he passed away in 2000. I think it was due to his weight, but I think they said he also had a heart attack or something like that.
Yeah, due to his weight. So. No shit.
Yeah, he had. I think both of his children are wrestling now. Same thing with Umaga.
Cool. That's awesome.
They're both training with in the Rikishi facility.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
So, James, I'm going to give you this right. Do you want to do a quick career retrospective on James E. Cornette? No. Is that all?
You want to?
We don't need. Everyone knows about these people. We don't need to do any more career retrospective.
Honestly, I don't want to even rant about Cornette anymore. You want to know what I fucking think about Cornette? Just watch my Jay Hebert Side of Things episode 2 podcast where I eviscerate every point he ever made. Like, there you go. Like, there's a little cheap plug there. iCard, yay for later.
Can that just be the career retrospective about James E. Cornette? That video.
Yeah,
right there?
and also again, I even eviscerated what he did in Smoky Mountain, because if Smoky Mountain was actually good, it would have fucking survived. The reason it didn't is because, yeah, he didn't book it right. He had the Christmas creature, and he made Mufasa pick his nose. There you go.
So I assume. So no career retrospective on the legends. We don't, not the legends, but the celebrities. We don't need to do that. So
yeah, fuck it.
All right, that's WrestleMania. WrestleMania 10's in the books. Let's grade the show, and then let's grade the retro, since this was a chaotic retro. Let's start with Chris. Grade WrestleMania 10 itself, and then grade the retro, since this is a weird retro.
Grade WrestleMania 10 itself. I give WrestleMania 10 a B+, mainly on the 2 matches that were 5 stars and stole the fucking show. The ladder match and the opener. 2 of the greatest matches in the history of wrestling. As far as this retro, simultaneously an A+ and an F-.
Oh no. Why simultaneously? What happened?
Because it was simultaneously great and shit at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, James.
All right, my turn? Okay.
Grade WrestleMania 10 itself, and then the retro.
Okay. Let's see here. So for the retro itself, I give it a B- for the same reasons Chris mentioned, but I just rated it a little lower because there wasn't much meat on the bone other than those 2. But they were at least very historical. And honestly, that fucking Luger bullshit chaps my ass, and the fucking Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels getting any form of shit for that chaps my ass to no end. Anyway, what was I gonna fucking say? Okay, retro itself. I'm grading the retro now. This was. I'll just rate it A+. No, S rank and F- negative.
Oh my god.
There you go.
That's so bad. As for, I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to give WrestleMania 10 a B. I liked the 2 matches. I actually liked the Falls Count Anywhere match between Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush, even though it was a little weird, but I still thought it was a good enough match. And I liked the tag title match, so that was good.
Yeah, true.
And then as for the retro is an S rank and an F quadruple minus, or whatever James said, because this retro is so bad. It breaks the scale that it's good, but then it's so bad that it fixes the scale again or something. I don't even know. It does something to that scale.
It's like a tornado. It's an EF5 just fucking going and going. You know, I'm gonna be in the dark now. Fuck it. Why not? Here you go. Oh, wait. There we go. I'm in the dark now.
I got the sun in my face too. It's like, oh, this is just a great retro.
This is tremendous. Look at this.
Let's see if we have any comments before we get off. See if Steve chimed in and said something.
There was nothing. I'm going to move Chris around again. Here we go, Chris. I'm going to move you around. Here we go. Yeah.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh my God, what am I... We're going on a tour.
Hold on. I'll put you right on top of this WrestleMania 10. Here you go. Yeah. Right on top of the retro logo. Here we go. Yeah, and right over the Wrestling Fortune. It's Chris Dodd Fortune now. There we go. Yeah.
How does that feel, Chris?
It's Chris Dodd presents WrestleMania.
Hold on. I could go multiple places now by clicking keys now. Here we go. Yay.
Isn't this great, Chris? Isn't this fantastic?
He's gonna throw
Kill
up.
me now.
All right, we gotta do our plugs and promotion before we do anything else. We're gonna start with Chris because he's got the least amount of stuff to plug. Chris, is there anything you want to plug or promote?
I will do some pluggeration. Don't you dare ever watch AEW live because it sucks.
Why?
Watch Spark because that's good.
Why
is excellent content on this channel. Please watch it. Don't watch it live because you will find out that it's garbage and it's not worth 1 million viewers.
Hey!
Tony Khan has a big special announcement. That's the only reason why you can pull over 1 million viewers, or if someone dies. That's the only reason why you can pull over 1 million viewers.
Goddamn.
Can they watch?
Watch WWE. It's going into WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
It is you're about to go on a wild ride.
Well, are they allowed to watch NXT though?
No, don't. You'll fucking die of boredom.
Well, hey, listen, man. Hey,
was a great wrestler and a horrific booker.
okay.
Did I ever tell you that, like, did I ever tell you when I was watching NXT, like, one of the bad ones, I was, like, looking at the wall afterwards, like, what the fuck did I just...
I was
like, I
more
was, like,
excited in the fucking show.
You were looking at the wall and watching it.
like, I was, like, my eyes weren't watching it. Like, it was, like, looking at the wall instead. I was like, what the fuck? That show fucking sucks, dude. Like... I just regretted all my life choices watching NXT one week. Yeah, funny thing is, I keep coming back too. I keep going back to NXT. I can't stop. Like it's like,
it's so bad. I gotta see this train wreck. Oh shit! I can't believe we just we defended Shawn Michaels and now we're shitting all over NXT, which he runs and books.
That sucks.
It does suck.
Hey, if you don't like tag teams, watch NXT. Guess they just fucking break all of them up.
Wait a minute. I just realized that's why Shawn Michaels kept ignoring his cue. He didn't want to see a 10-man tag, so he kept going. He kept wrestling. He didn't want that 10-man tag to happen.
Yeah, it's tag team wrestling, bro.
I'm a singles guy.
He was more successful as a singles guy. You're right. He never forgave Marty Jannetty. He really hates him to this day.
But anyhow, James, is there anything you want to plug or promote?
Too much to the point where I'm just gonna say fuck it. You want to see what I have to plug? Watch Wrestling with Idiocy, and all my plugs are on Wrestling with Idiocy towards the end. Just fast forward to the fucking end of the podcast. That's my plugs. There you go. Go on Casey's channel, see what I have to plug there. My back is in too much pain to keep laughing about anything anymore.
You can just check out this channel and
it's about to go to bed too, so he's getting ready to go sleepy.
I go sleepy. I'm not on that fucking bed. That's why I have this bad back. Anyway, go ahead.
You could. Wait, so your back wasn't getting blown out instead?
No.
It was the bed.
It was
sure
the bed.
It was.
It was. Trust me, it was the bed. It was the bed. It was the bed. I don't do that fruity booty shit.
Fruity booty.
What do you sleep? Are you sleep?
Any ideas? I might steal it.
No, leave me alone. Leave my fruity booty alone. All right, go ahead. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just check out check out the channel update video so that way you'll know everything that's coming up.
Yeah, pretty much.
James did a really cool edit. If you want to get yourself excited for other retros, just go watch the retro playlist, specifically the WrestleMania retros. If you want to get yourself excited or unexcited for WrestleMania, I
think we're cranking them out recently. So
yeah, I was about to say we got this one, and then we have 18.
We have several.
We have 18 and 26 left. So that'll be the last two we do, and then we're gonna move on to Stand and Deliver and Raw after Mania 31. So yay!
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
That's pretty much it, guys.
Wait, what were you gonna say, Chris? Go.
It's a long journey.
It's a very long journey. Anyway, go ahead, Owen.
We're done with the show. This train wreck of a retro. We'll try to be better next time.
Yes.
I want to apologize, but I feel like we're not really owed an apology. Like, this is just what you should expect at this point.
Yeah. Hey, we had a good streak of actually good produced retros, but we're back to reality.
This one was off the rails from the start.
We're back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. So there you go. All right. Do you want to say your catchphrase?
Not this time.
Okay. Bye.
There is no catchphrase even said.
Yeah, bye everyone. Oh shit. I tried to fucking push it down arrow. It didn't work. Alright, here we go. Bye everyone.
Oh.
Redoing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my